Right.
Let's give you an example of what we're exactly looking at here. So this is what the guy looks like. He's super cool. So yeah.
You keep up with this guy?
His name is Norman Somerton, and he's also known as Pig Slut. If you notice, he's got a cage around his dick.
Yeah.
That's a sounding cage. So he's got this cage around his junk, and then there's a rod that goes into his pee hole, and he's peeing out of it.
Dear Lord.
You're gonna...
Why? That's not where I thought that was coming from. I was... No. Why is his asshole so high, though?
Oh my! I think him and that girl have the same health diet there.
And we're back for the Blacklisted Gaming Podcast.
Hey.
I'm joined with Doc and his friend Sean.
I'm not
hello.
sick anymore.
By the way, the reason why that we have them angled like this for the cameras is because I have 3 cameras, but my laptop can't handle 3 cameras.
It's the struggle.
It is the struggle. Today we got a lot of things going on. I'm going to get to know Sean a little bit, and then I'm going to show him some fun stuff on the internet. I'm going to show him some. And by the way, just so you know, I'm probably going to gag. He's probably going to gag.
You're definitely
Are you squeamish?
Depends on what it is.
It's poop.
Oh, then probably not. If it's anything else,
It's poop eating.
great. Am I going to see another one of those videos?
You were 100% going to see one of those videos.
No.
Remember back in the day when Sky first showed us
Yeah.
that
I remember.
2 girls, 1 cup video?
It's a little bit.
It's going to be similar.
It's similar without the vomit,
Without the vomit.
and there's extra food involved.
Oh boy. All right.
You'll
I'm a
understand.
psychopath.
Okay.
For those of you that watch and have regularly listened to us, and if you're new to this and you don't know this, I'm a little nuts.
I just have nuts.
So I want to get front load the topics real quick. So we got some news about Apple versus Epic.
And not the banana.
Not the banana. I'm surprised that this lawsuit actually concluded already.
Yeah, that's actually kind of shocking.
Do you know
I
anything
kinda
about
figured.
this?
No, I haven't heard anything.
So Epic was suing Apple for being they're claiming them to be a monopoly and holding like the market hostage kind of for apps and making money through the apps.
Because they
That
have
sounds
that thing where
about right for Apple.
for Apple you can only pay through Apple. Like Apple takes a cut of everything, 30%.
And
minimum.
the ruling was in favor for both in a way.
Yeah, in a sense.
Actually, the verdict was not in favor for either one of them. Though they both kind of lost.
But the overall is
The
really
overall
what it is,
Epic lost, even though these articles keep saying that Epic won.
yeah. They're looking at it in like the long term for it, like what it means going forward.
And the long list of delays, Battlefield 2042 is delayed. Which honestly
Hurts my heart.
I jinxed this because I even said as these games are delayed, I'm like, I'm surprised Battlefield's not on this list.
You cursed it. I'm blaming you now.
And
This
then
is your
now
fault.
here we are. They delayed it. So
This
Did
is
they
your-
have an alpha for that?
Not yet.
they did.
Well,
They had a
Kind
tech
of.
demo alpha.
yeah, but it wasn't like how like COD does it.
Okay.
I'm still pretty concerned about the game though, and I'll talk about that a little bit more because they're not showing certain things, and I'm pretty concerned about that. Grand Theft Auto 5. I meant to say GTA 5. Not GTA
I was
6.
hopeful. I was thinking. I was like, hey,
No,
GTA
it's not
6.
GTA 6 news. I fucked up and read that. I was like, that's a typo.
fucking tease.
So GTA 5 is getting a PS5 port, and people are fucking bombing the dislikes on those.
Why? Oh, it's because it's gonna cost more. You
No,
gotta buy the game again.
Not only is it going to cost more, but they're not adding anything new.
course not.
They're claiming it to be like, oh, you do, and people that are playing on PC like you're not adding anything new. Like you'll never get it better than PC. And the
Are they
trailer,
making the graphics better?
the trailer they showed was exactly the same trailer they showed for the reveal in 2013.
This sounds familiar. This is like another article we talked about before.
So for 8 years, the same game.
8 years, yeah. And people are like, what the fuck? And then they also are taking away they're DMCAing modders. Yeah, that's another thing. The modding community is taking a hit too on this one. The next Call of Duty, which is going to be a Modern Warfare 2, apparently.
2022's Call of Duty.
2022's Call of Duty after Vanguard, which I know is going to fail. It's going to be a sequel to 2019's Modern Warfare, and it's going to take place against the drug cartels.
It's going to be MW2.
It's going to be Battlefield Hardline for COD.
Probably.
So that's cool.
It's a reimagined MW2.
Bad news for PS4 players. The PS4 got an update that's bricking consoles.
Yep.
I saw that.
Among other issues with it.
Yeah, we'll look into that too. And lastly, Twitch. Twitch has got a new possible music deal that could stop DMCA strikes, which is, it's a good thing.
And that means that you'd be able to play music.
Though that'd be good. What are we still doing about these fucking hate raid bots? They are. I can add that too. Twitch is suing. Twitch got the names of 2 of the guys that are in charge of this and are suing them.
It's not gonna do anything though.
No, it's not, because the hate raid bots are still doing their thing.
I think I got followed by a couple of them.
Dude, everyone got followed by a couple of them.
They can send all the hate. That's fine.
That's not the issue. The issue is that they can get your IP and dox you.
I run a VPN.
Okay, well then you're fine. But for the majority of the time, they'll dox people, and the other issue is that when they do these hate raids, what they'll do is they'll spam your chat with hateful content, and then report your channel, and then your channel will get banned. And they'll overwhelm your chat with racial slurs and all that stuff, and then they'll report your channel for failure to moderate your chat, and then you will get banned.
I did actually see one, it was a short video where someone was talking about that. And even if you have your, the auto mod, and you can add words and stuff in there, they've got it to where they'll use different characters, from different languages, so it'll go through.
It'll bypass your bot.
And he had a program where he would put in, it would run all the different variants of different slurs of how they'd be able to type it, and to be able to input it to ban them. And it was list after list. It was just going
it's
upon.
So tedious.
It was insane.
And Twitch has done hardly shit to fucking fix this, and it's pissing off a lot of people, and that's why a lot of people are going to YouTube.
Among other reasons.
Among other reasons, yeah. So let's talk about some regiment news.
Yep, regiment news. So next charity drive. It's been a minute. What was our last one again? May, I think? I think it was back in May.
I don't remember. It was the USO one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was back in May. It's usually every 3 months, once a quarter. So this makes sense. So, I think we usually do it in October, but because of who we're doing it with, and because of the month that it is. So September is Suicide Prevention Month. We're doing it with Stack Up, because Stack Up has been amazing for us, especially during all the Afghan stuff going on. All the guys that have been struggling, they've had that stuff set up. We can go into their Discord. They got somebody to talk to. So it's going to be 24th to the 27th. And they're also our newest official partner as well. So we're officially partnered with Stack Up.
Hell yeah.
He was actually Stack Up was one of the first ones that Chris had talked to back, when Regiment got started. I actually found that out in the new interview that he had with Stack Up, one of their social media managers. They had a full-on interview about how Regiment got started, and so Regiment's only a year and 4 months old. He started back in, I think, May last year.
It's amazing to see how far Regiment has actually come.
Oh yeah.
By the way, if you're looking, me and Doc are wearing matching Regiment jerseys. This is our Red Friday limited edition jerseys, and if you're trying to get one, you can't.
Yeah,
anymore.
suck nerd.
They might end up doing them again.
They probably will.
But
it's so cute that you're matching.
I know.
Don't be jealous. Okay.
We love you.
We'll have our time.
It's all about the cum. Anyway, so
so what else we got? I think we had one more. Let's see. Oh, and we had to apply for Twitter verification. So hopefully that'll be coming soon.
Hopefully we can get that over, and the Discord verification it'll probably help to the Discord verification.
More likely. The crazy thing, I think Twitter will be a lot easier than the Discord one.
That sucks.
Because Twitter's, I've looked into it, what their parameters are for. It's actually really easy. You just have to meet those parameters, and as long as you're there, you can get verified. Because it's a social media platform, so it's not hard to get verified. But Discord is different because I think it costs more money for Discord if you're partnered.
Yeah.
Like it's actually, and because they're independent too, so they're not nearly as large as Twitter. So that's probably a part of it as well.
Yeah. I'm really hoping for the Discord verification. Like, I don't see why. Like, we've met all the criteria. Why are we not verified?
It's probably, it might be like almost like Twitch partner. Like usually people won't get, even if they meet the parameters, they won't get it the first time. But after a couple of times,
you know what they also look. You know what
consistency.
Twitch also looks into for your partnership? They look in to see if you have a YouTube presence,
Makes sense.
and that takes into account of whether or not they want to partner you. Like, if you have a good YouTube following, it'll give you better chances of becoming a partner.
Because it
is
feeds
weird.
people over to Twitch.
It does. It's also weird though because people are leaving Twitch for YouTube. So like,
Well, now, when you look at it like that, but they're thinking of it as when people are true Twitch streamers, they use YouTube for the videos. And quality streamers, to bring more people to their Twitch, they'll use YouTube to bring them over to Twitch.
sorry, I had to turn that light on.
The ambiance.
I fucked up, and I had curry and coffee today.
Oh,
That sounds terrible.
oh no.
Might have to take
Like
it.
spicy coffee. Stop kicking the camera, Sean.
I'm not meaning to. I'm sorry.
I know
This is why we can't have nice things.
it's the tripod, man. It's hard to remember that it's not there. So hang on, before we continue, I gotta take a break because I gotta poop.
It's going to be a spicy poop.
Dude, yesterday I took a shit when I went to see Tom Segura. Oh my god. I was like, we went and had Italian, and I was just like,
During the show?
yeah. Well, no, before.
Okay.
Like, we got ahead of the line quick. Like, we went out to dinner, and then we ended up getting in line like relatively early. Even though the doors were supposed to open like in 30 minutes, there were still not a lot of people in line. So we got relatively close to the front. So we were one of the earliest people to sit, and the doors ended up not opening for another hour.
Did you have like early access tickets or something?
No, we had normal tickets, but we just like the line usually gets so fucking long, and they just wait for the doors to open.
Was it assigned seating or open seating?
It's assigned seating.
Makes sense.
So we got in a line, and then doors didn't open for another like probably, I don't know, half hour or more. And then when we got to sit down, like the show didn't end up starting until almost fucking 11 o'clock.
Early
Wow.
bird gets into the show early.
So
I guess.
while I was waiting, I'm like, I gotta take a shit. And then I went and took a shit, and it was a spicy shit. So
Well, gonna be much like this one.
yeah, I'll be right back. All right, now that my pipes are cleaned out,
That's not true.
so let's. I want to talk about how you all met. So how long have you guys known each other? You said something about like you guys known each other since you were teenagers, right?
10.
10?
You're like, what, 10? All right.
10?
We'll go with 10. It might be a little bit younger, but 10 sounds
Somewhere
like
about
a nice,
the
nice round even number.
first years of middle school.
No, we were in elementary together.
We did. Never mind. You're right.
But we didn't really become friends until probably like what, 4th grade? No, it was before
No.
that. It had to be before that.
It was after that. It was at middle school years
I don't believe it was middle school years.
because I was hanging out with Skylar and that before you and I ever did. And then we got you involved with everything.
Oh yeah, because I remember I became friends with Sky through you, and Sky wasn't a fan of me in the beginning. The first time I ever went over, because my great grandma lived in town,
Okay.
small town, and our other best friend Sky lived right next to her, and he lived like 5 houses down the street.
Yeah, five
Right?
houses.
So he
down
lived
from
5
me.
houses down the street from that. I lived in the country, but I was always at my great grandma's house, so I'd go down there, and that's how we'd usually all hang out. And I was hanging out with him one day, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm over at Sky's house. It's right next to your grandma's. You can come on over." And Sky was like, "Sean, you came over here to hang out with me." He was
The
so
old childhood stuff.
he was so pissed.
You're supposed to be my friend.
And then
You can't have other friends too.
how dare you have other friends? And now we're all best friends.
And then he used to hang out without me. And
Is
then
this Sky guy in the Navy also?
No,
Nah,
he's a Marine.
Marine.
No.
He
same
got
difference.
out. He got out after I think he did.
10 years.
No, he did not. He
Oh,
did.
Pretty much.
I think he did 6 years.
Was it only 6?
Yeah, no, he didn't do long. He's pretty PTSD. He's been to combat like 3 times.
Yeah.
Back in, he went to the 2nd Marja, and
So did you two join around the same time?
fuck no.
No, I've only been doing 3 years so far.
Oh, so you joined way later.
Yep.
I got him into the Navy.
What made you decide to be a cop in the Navy?
It was either the Navy or the Air Force. So the Air Force is what I was trying to go for.
And they said no, didn't they?
Well, the Air
Yeah.
Force wanted him to be a twig, and he lost a shit ton
fuck's
of
a
weight.
twig?
Like skin and
Oh,
bones.
lose weight.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And he did. Like he lost a lot of weight.
I lost
Like,
a lot.
He was fit, like super fit.
And they
And
still
the
said
Air Force
no?
was like,
Yeah. They
not cutting it, man.
so
Fucking fat ass.
in between
Dude,
him going
what?
from command up to here to Chicago, he stopped by. He goes, "Let's go see the Navy recruiter."
Yeah, I was like, bro, I'm telling you, I can get you into the Navy. You'll fail weight, obviously, because we use the same standards, but they'll tape you and you'll pass tape. And lo and behold, we go in. He's
The
like,
Air
yeah,
Force, they didn't tape you?
They wouldn't do a thing.
because they
Not
don't
until I hit that weight. They would
don't need
not
people.
do anything for me.
That makes sense.
they don't need people.
Dude, that's so dumb. The fucking military height and weight standards are so outdated.
It's not scientific at all.
It's
No.
not, and they're taping like it's just so outdated. They've been doing the same shit since fucking Vietnam.
Mhm.
I even had an LT who was like 6'2" and a complete rail of a human being, like no meat on his body. He was like, and then he's in our air. I was in an airborne unit, so like all of us are fucking roided out. We're jacked, and he's like, the military doesn't want people that look like you. I'm like, why is that, sir? He's like, they want people like me. I'm the standard. I'm like, you're the standard? Said, so you're going to be able to carry my ass if I need you to? He's like, yeah, if I need to. I'm like, no, you won't. Said, you are sick. You're like taller than me, but I outweigh you by like 25, 30 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm 210. So you're 160 something.
It's pretty ridiculous.
I'm like, you're 6'2" and you weigh maybe 170. That's how skinny he was. And I was like, dude, there's no fucking way. I'm like, I guarantee. I said, we're going up against Russians right now. You think the Russians are gonna look at you and think that, yep, you're the standard for like alpha physique in the army? Fuck no, chief.
The
And
funny thing was when he got, like, you got taped, and they're like, yeah, you can sign up today. And he was like, that's all it took? I could have been doing this the whole time?
We spent 3 hours in that recruiting.
I've never
station.
made weight. I've never made weight. The only time I ever did was in basic.
I
And
didn't
that's-
even after basic.
Yeah, you've literally never.
I did after basic
You didn't even make
because
weight in the recruiter.
I lost 40 pounds in basic training.
That's the skinniest I've ever been. Was
It was
basic.
169. That was the skinniest I've been since fucking high school, and I was a rail. I was like, someone told me like, you look very unhealthy. I'm like, because this isn't my natural body. So this is starved and like it's
So
hot.
true.
We were in Oklahoma. It was hotter than fuck,
Oklahoma.
and like we were getting smoked regularly, like not fed very well. Plus I made sure to eat everything but shit.
Were you a peanut butter thief?
No, I was never a food thief. Peanut butter thief.
Yeah, little packets.
Why? What do you mean a thief?
Like, take it back to the barracks?
No. No, I never did that.
You did that, didn't you?
No, I actually didn't. I was afraid. I was
So
like,
was
The
I.
peanut butter
I'm not trying to
can't.
get my ass beat.
They encouraged us to eat the peanut butters and the MREs.
No, I mean, so, like, when we would go to the galley, that...
When we had hot A's come out to the field, whenever we were doing the exercises, I'd take the peanut butter packets.
No, this is, like, when you're not in the field.
Oh no, I didn't need to. I couldn't even think about eating, honestly. Like we were too busy doing other shit, like to think about food. I remember when I got in, they gave me like large sized uniforms. Within 2 weeks, I could not fit in them anymore. That's how fast I was losing weight. And
It's pretty crazy.
like I lost weight so fast, I had to literally they made us put our canteens in our pockets, in our cargo pockets. So whenever we were running, I'd have full canteens like swinging around, smacking me on the knees, and it sucked so bad. And I'm like, can I get smaller? They finally let us all, like, you know, because people's uniforms were getting fucked up from all the shit we were doing. They let us go and DX our uniforms, which is basically like, you know, they're fucked up. They give you like a free set of new uniforms. So I turned all my shit in. and got all new sizes. I said the other thing that like they let you do is if the uniforms became too big on you, they let you DX them too. So for me, I traded them in for mediums. Medium regulars. No, not small medium regular. Because I wasn't a large regular anymore. Like it literally took a couple of weeks for me to not fit in those anymore. Because I was losing weight so fast.
Wow.
So
Did you ever have the Aquaflash? Good Lord.
So once they gave me the medium regulars, it was like, oh, I felt so much better. I was like, wow, this actually fit. And like the canteens weren't swinging around, hitting me on the fucking kneecaps anymore. Because like my pants were so baggy on me. Like I literally was folding the side and then tightening my belt as tight as I can get it to keep the pants up. Because when we were getting smoked, my pants were falling down. And I'm like, this fucking sucks. And I told them, I was like, drill sergeant, I don't fit my uniforms anymore. I've lost so much weight. And they're like, yeah, we'll get you new ones. Like they were cool about that because they're like, well, you're losing weight.
Yeah, you're not a disgusting fat body.
Like you're not fucking. Like there were some people that were there that just could not lose weight. I'm like, I don't understand how. There were still guys there that couldn't even do 10 push-ups. Don't ask me how they even got there to this point.
Yeah, that's true.
You can fail basic, by the way. Most people don't know that. You can fail basic training.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
You can kind of quit too.
pretty sure that like those guys never made it through because they couldn't pass their PT test because they always would fail the run.
Bitches.
Always would fail push-ups, and I'm just like, how did you get this far?
I love when I see people that like, how do you go into boot camp and not expect boot camp?
That I don't know, but there are people
Like,
that do.
There's so many movies and everything out there, and none of them portray boot camp as like this nice, wonderful place.
No, they don't. Even
Never.
though,
Ever.
like the movies are completely exaggerated from
Oh,
what it
yeah,
really
they're
is.
worse than what you experience
Oh, yeah,
now.
by all means.
Because they're like the old ways.
Yeah,
They're like the 70s type show when they could actually beat your fucking ass.
Now
physically.
they can't even touch you.
no, they can't even swear at you.
That's not true.
They
It's,
still,
They still do, but not on camera.
It's
No.
yeah, that's true. It's
Frickin'. And I'm like,
Words
can we
of
stop
emphasis.
saying frickin' and just use the word you want to say?
words
Yeah.
of emphasis. They don't cuss at you.
I like that. Words of emphasis.
That's what I specifically remember them telling us. Look, we're not cussing at you. We are using words of emphasis.
So, Sean, what made you join the military in the first place?
It was one of those things I've always wanted to do.
What stopped you before?
His weight.
Well, I could have easily focused on it if I needed to, but I just let too much other shit control everything I was doing,
Like crazy exes.
pretty much. And then
Which we'll get into.
Yeah, for one of them. But the biggest thing was my dad. He ended up getting pretty sick, ended up having to get a transplant. So I really wanted to make sure I wasn't going anywhere to help with that. I was already overweight to begin with, so I didn't want to focus on any of that until I knew he was doing well enough to help take care of himself.
Okay.
So I was around for a lot of that to help him out.
Plus, you had always kind of wanted to join. You wanted to join more than I ever did in the beginning. I only joined.
I was the same
Yeah.
way. I
Oh,
wanted
broke.
to join, but I
It was
let
weird
go.
because we were sitting there in high school talking about that one day. And he goes, yeah, I just got done joining.
Yeah.
Where
It was
did
funny
this
because they
come
were the ones
from?
that were going to join.
Yeah.
Mike was going to join with me, and he just said no because he was afraid like the girl he was with would leave him if he did because she said she would, and
That's a fair assessment.
and she ended up doing that.
If she says it.
Yeah,
So be afraid of that.
yeah. She ended up doing it anyway, but like that was the biggest reason why I didn't join because the girl that I was with at the time before I joined. I've told this story a lot, but I'm gonna tell you. Like the girl that my first ever really serious relationship, I talked about joining the military, and she was like, "I'll leave you if you join the military."
Is it the asshole shaver?
Yep. So she, and then she ended up leaving me for a guy in the Air Force.
That
A
makes a lot of
guy in
sense.
the Air Force?
Yeah, she
I think-
married.
let's use the term guy loosely here.
Yeah, he was a security force.
Sorry,
he was
Air
an MP, and she left me for this dude in the Air Force.
That makes sense. I'll leave you if you join, but I'm going to already get with somebody.
She
that
married
is.
the guy while we were still together,
Wow.
and got pregnant.
Wow.
He
And
dodged a
lived in-
bullet.
And he lived in Georgia. So she
Really?
So she went to Georgia to see her family, but truth was she ended up going down there and marrying this guy. And and fucking him, and then coming back, and then within a month, she's like, I don't want to be here anymore. I was like, okay, what the fuck? And then she went down and like hid the fact that she was married for like several months, and her brother told me. Her brother was my boss at work. He was like, you really don't know what's going on, do you? I'm like, no, because she's telling everybody multiple stories. So
that's so hard to maintain.
No, it all fell apart. She divorced the guy. Like, he divorced her because after I found out, she was like, I made a mistake. I want to get my marriage annulled, and I want to have an abortion. And because he got deployed, and she was alone.
She just freaked out.
She freaked out because after they got married, he deployed, and she was like, I can't take it. And then was like, I love you still. And then like, this is back in MySpace days.
Oh my God.
So like when I tried to like tell him,
was she not in his top friends?
It was, I don't know, dude. Like all I remember was that like I found his Facebook or his MySpace, and I messaged him, and she had access to his MySpace.
I remember that was a big issue back then. If you weren't in someone's top friends,
it was top 10.
Like, what the fuck am I not in your top friends, bro?
She probably still had Tom up there.
And then she
the same picture, by the way.
she had access to his MySpace, so all the messages I had. This is before I could like take I don't know how to. You couldn't send photos. And like now you can send screenshots, but like that wasn't a thing because we didn't have smartphones. iPhone 1 wasn't even out yet.
No.
So like,
they still had the wheel for the iPod.
No, I still was using a fucking Droid, like the OG Droid, like shit that you see in the movie The Matrix where it slides open.
Yeah.
I remember those.
So there was no way for me to tell this guy the truth, and she got his messages because she was on the computer and had access to his MySpace and would delete my messages. And then eventually, when I was in airborne school, he found out and divorced her. So yeah, that's how that felt. That all came full circle for her, even though it came full circle like 6 years later, but it still came full circle. So
how long after that we got you into the recruiter did you end up leaving? Because we got like the Air Force. They walked over to the Air Force
there's like
recruiters.
a delayed entry program.
For
No.
him, no, not for him, because we were already out of high school. He was well past everything. They went down to the recruiter's office at the Air Force. They're like, we need to transfer this guy's paperwork over to the Navy.
Yeah. In the first 3 hours, he goes, I need some of the stuff. And he goes, if you've already been working with them, they should have it. So I went from the Navy office, walked right next door, told her I needed all my stuff, and then walked right back over to the Navy guys.
The crazy part was that bitch was actually in her fucking office. I don't know where those people were when I tried to join the Air Force, but they weren't in the office. So continue.
It's the same with the Navy. All the Army guys were in the office, and some of the Marines, but like
I never had an issue with them, but they just didn't want to take me. So that was my issue.
the Navy would not work with me.
No.
My recruiter kept procrastinating, and she's like, what do you want to do in the Navy? And I was like, I want to go to Buds. And she was just like, oh yeah, we can get that to happen. You can go to pre-Buds at Great Lakes and stuff, and I'll get you through the program. And like, what do you want? I'm like, if I'm not in the SEAL program, I want to be a gunner's mate. And she was like, yeah, we can do that. And then I kept hitting her up, no response. And I was like, fuck the Navy. I'm gonna go talk to the Marine Corps. I go in the Marine Corps recruiting office, and I was like, what brings you in today? I'm like, I've been thinking about joining the Marine Corps. He's like, thinking about? There's no thinking about. You either want to be a fucking Marine or you don't want to be a fucking Marine. There's no thinking about. I'm like, I don't want to be a Marine. So I walked out and walked right over to the Army. I'm like, what a fucking retard. I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, I was like, this is really like, oh, that's your recruit. That's how you're gonna get me, huh? That's how you're going to get me, like, to convince to join the Marines. Like, there's no thinking about it. You either do or you don't. And I'm
Right.
like,
It works.
I'm like, if that's really how you're going to go about it, then I don't. Because I'm like, my first thought was like, that's not professional. But
It
okay.
appeals to a certain crowd.
Yeah, the crowd that can't get, I mean, I give props to Marines. That's cool. I get it. It's not easy. But at the same time, it's like, do better on your recruiting. Like, it's not. Like, especially for a person who's older, for me, joining at 23 was older. And, like, yeah, that works on a younger group. I'm not younger. So walking in, I'm like, yeah, I've been thinking about joining the Marine Corps. Instead of, like, what makes you, like, so what made you consider this? It was more of, like, because that's what the Army does. So what's got you considering it? And I was just like, fuck, who's calling me?
You
Hang
left,
on.
like, what, 3 weeks later? Oh, we're taking a break? Okay.
Yeah. I'm recording a podcast. All right, bye.
Later, brother.
Yeah,
I knew it.
he's taking an immigration. I'm not gonna cut that out. He had to go to Chicago for an immigrations test. He's moving to Canada.
Oh yeah.
So
I
he had
remember
to,
that.
he had
Yeah,
to
yeah.
take an immigrations test. He had to go to Chicago and take a test to prove that English is his first language. I'm like, what? Being in the U.S. Army and living in the United States isn't enough?
I think I would fail.
No.
Barely know English as it is.
So yeah, I talked to the Marine recruiter, and I'm just like, all right, cool. You're definitely like dumb. So I went over to the fucking Army. And,
Yeah, he's a Marine.
yeah, I know. I mean, it all made sense after I joined, but like after I go into the Army recruiter, and I was just like, yeah. And then they talked to me. They're like, so what do you? What's got you thinking about it? And I was like, oh, this, and this. And they're like, okay. And yeah, the rest is history.
Army recruiter just insulted everyone else when I talked to him. I'm like, nope, not feeling you. You told me nothing about the Army. You just shit talked to everybody else.
Really?
Yeah, because I'd first talked to the Navy because I wanted to do medical. So I'd already eliminated Marine Corps because they don't have medical, and I knew that because Sky was already in. So like I knew that Marine does not have medical. They use the Navy's medical. So I was either gonna do Air Force and Army or Air Force and Navy were my first choice, but because I took my ASVAB through my high school, I wasn't owned by anybody. So I would get calls from everybody. So the Army had called me after I started talking to the Navy. I was telling them that I started talking to the Navy. And the moment I had said that, he just started shit talking the Navy. And then he went to every branch, was shit talking them. I'm like, all I've heard in this 10-minute conversation with you is nothing about the Army and you bashing everybody
I feel
else.
like a good recruiter makes or breaks who goes into what branch.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Because I'm
Like,
not sold.
if you have a recruiter that will tell you like, it's one thing to shit talk into other branches. It's another thing to tell you the difference between the branches when it comes to recruiting.
Yep.
So it's like, for me, like my recruiter was just like, so how it works for the Air Force and the Navy and the Marines is like you don't get to pick your job. Well, actually, the Air Force you do. The Navy and the Marine Corps, like you typically
No,
don't.
Navy, you have your job. You contract your job.
Most of the time you don't. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was told that you couldn't really pick your job.
The only time that you don't pick your job specifically is if you go in undesignated.
Yeah, which I would never do.
Yeah, but every other time you sign your contract for what job you're going to have before you go to boot camp.
So the
and
Army
that's
was
what gives you your date to leave.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Marine Corps, you can't pick your job.
Yeah,
It's-
they pick like a general
yeah.
area, like
So-
infantry.
So like yeah, most people actually don't get that. Believe it or not.
No, I'm saying like you get infantry, but you don't know specific. Like if you're gonna be a tow gunner, machine gunner, L311, like
You don't know. So like for me, for the Army, like I was like I wanted to be infantry, and it's like we don't have any infantry slots open. So I ended up being an FO, which was probably better in my opinion. So, but hey, so
you left like what 3 weeks later?
Yeah, it wasn't very long.
That's crazy.
So we started having a conversation that I wanted to say for this about your crazy ex.
Yeah.
So
Give us a preview.
did you meet this girl before the Navy?
Yeah, it was the factory I was working at before I left. I met her there, and we were actually dating for at least a year, if not longer, before I ever left.
So what happened?
So throughout the relationship, things were going fine. But when it came closer to my time for joining and leaving, that's when she started bringing out these comments that she would make. It was, if you felt like I was enough, you wouldn't leave. If
the gaslighting?
Yeah.
and it was I'd want you to have a family with us and blah blah blah, this other stuff that she was making comments like that.
I bet you have a family.
And she goes,
You got
and
kids.
she was just making all this. I was like, I'm telling you right now, living in Indiana is a place where you go to die.
You don't ever
Because there's nothing there. Up in northern Indiana, there's nothing to do.
The only reason Indiana's populated is because people moving out west broke down and they're like, I guess we stay.
Pretty much. Or they want to get into farming.
That's it.
That's it. Like when I was talking to the Air Force recruiter at one point, she goes, "Why does it seem like everybody that comes in here works at some kind of factory?"
because that's all there is.
There is.
That's what we got.
Or
And I was
like
getting tired of
fast
that.
food.
So that's why I wanted to join. I was like, I'm just going to do what I want from now on. and I wanted to join.
She was clearly from a bigger city or something.
And yeah, because she wasn't from around there. But anyway, so I ended up leaving, and when I actually went in to get my job and my date for leaving, it was literally 3 weeks from that date. And I told her, I was like, it's either going to be later on down the road or it's going to be soon. I don't know which. And she had just expected it was going to be later on down the road at the end of the year.
Well, I remember because he was having such a hard time with the Air Force. She never thought he was going to get in.
That
or
quick.
like be like at all really. She never.
So
thought,
she assumed that because the Air Force said no, the Navy would also say no.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because I decided I didn't want to keep pursuing the Air Force and I wanted the Navy, then I was just settling with something. She goes, well, if that's what you're settling for, what else are you going to settle for? Making it seem like I just settled for her and I could just find something better later on.
I'm already getting cancer just from hearing
This
Right.
is like straight gaslighting.
So
right
we're going to
And-
skip to me being in A school.
Oh, fuck skipping. Well,
Because there's really not that much more other than what she was already doing before I left. She did get pretty pissed because she tried to make a gift for me before I left for the date I was supposed to go to a kind of like a Comic-Con here in Chicago that I was supposed to go to.
Oh yeah.
And she had to take her best friend that we mentioned last time that he started seeing a little bit on the
I
side.
was fucking her.
Yeah.
Right, I wasn't seeing it.
She took her instead to go to it. She got to meet Norman Reedus, all these other bunch of actors and stuff like that I missed out because I was in the middle of boot camp doing it. And I never got to go.
But we're not gonna
the
fast
things
forward.
that you get to miss out on because you decided to leave.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna fast forward yet because at boot camp I went to his graduation because I'm here, and so because I'm staff, I just wore my hospital badge. So I walked back with him to his ship because he had to get some pictures or something like that, right?
Just basic things.
Some pictures to give to his family. So we walked back to his ship, but families can only go past. They can't go past the parking lot by the chapel, or by the next, the PX.
Yeah, I know what the next
Okay.
is.
And so they can't go past that, but because I'm staff and I was in uniform, I'm just doing whatever the fuck I want. I'm going past with him. She got so pissed.
Because she
she
got
wasn't
pissed
allowed.
because she couldn't go.
Yeah,
she's
and
like,
I could.
Why does he get to go? Why can't I go with you?
Pretty
Right?
much, yeah. And she was
Okay.
pissed that I was taking time away from her with him.
This chick sounds like a cunt.
After a while, that's what it started to be. Because she was even causing issues later on, too.
It was always.
Not much is what I saw.
He was blinded by the pussy, essentially.
And her daughter,
Hey,
which
Doc,
was the cutest thing.
kind of scoot towards the middle a little bit.
Am I not on camera?
You're getting cut off. Yeah,
Is it like half my face?
it's like here off. Is not there.
This is gonna be a great episode.
Well, I mean, like I did what I could do. Like there we go. Where you're at right now is good. Get closer, boys.
Ooh.
So anyway, so you bring her back.
Yeah.
Aww. My
So-
dick is soft now.
Continue.
Okay. So we end up having our time together after graduation, whatever.
Yeah, she's
And-
gone now. It's okay.
Time
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
She's gone now.
Absolutely.
No, we're telling the story.
So A school hits, and I have this expectation that I just want to do really, really well. Because they tell us if you start hitting
Yeah.
below a certain grade with everything that you're getting,
Boot shit.
you're going to get tossed back. All through boot camp, I never got sent back for nothing. I got my time in, my 7 weeks, and that was it because it was escalated. It was able to get, instead of 8, it was 7. So I was part of that program for that. So I flew through it, got done, and I didn't want nothing as a hiccup to happen during A school. So I was focused on everything I was trying to do.
Like
well,
not her.
Yeah, and what was happening was I wasn't talking to my family. I wasn't talking to her. I wasn't even barely talking to any of my friends. But she only thought, since I wasn't paying attention to her, she was the only one being affected by that.
Yeah.
And I tried
The
to
world
explain
revolves
it.
around her.
Yeah, most.
I try to
most of them-
explain
most
that.
of them act like that. Yeah.
And she started acting like that towards me. And I was like, you know what? I don't know what I want to do anymore.
I think she was cheating on him.
Well, she wasn't. But after we end up having a conversation, I don't know what I want to do anymore. She goes, with what? With us. Because the way she was acting. I didn't want to keep doing that being away because it was just going to get worse. So some point after that, she fell into some deep depression. She said she claimed she had that I never knew about. She ended up fucking two dudes while I was there.
And they fell deep into her.
Yeah.
I was depressed because of you. You
Yeah.
did this to me.
And then didn't say anything.
I fucked them because you depressed
I
me.
graduated A school, went home to her, never found anything out about none of it. They even met her daughter that lived with her.
That's fucked up.
Surprised the kids didn't rat her out.
Her
That's
daughter
usually
was
how you
pissed.
find out.
Oh, I'm sure. How old was her daughter?
Not even 5.
So I was super young.
She wasn't even 5, and she knew it wasn't me that was there, and she understood that. So she was
Kids usually
devastated.
do. The kids usually do. Like, Mom,
And-
that's not Sean. Why?
Yeah,
Who is this guy?
that's pretty much what she said. So
Go back to
I ended up leaving after my 2 weeks of being home, and I drove all the way down to Georgia.
Georgia.
The fuck
And
did you go to Georgia for?
That's where I was stationed.
Oh,
It was
Kings
a Marine Navy joint base,
It's where they keep the dolphins.
highly trained dolphins.
Like the Navy's
Wait,
dolphins.
that's real.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was badass.
They use them for sonar.
But
Okay. Yeah.
we had an
alright.
orientation month. It was a whole month to tell us where you're possibly going to go, either this point or over here on the seaside, where you're going to end up dealing with dolphins, subs, things that come in.
And nukes. There's nukes there too.
Pretty sure you can't say that.
No, that's why I was trying to avoid
I
that.
think there's nukes there. That's what everybody says.
That's
That's what
why-
Google tells me.
Fuck. OPSEC, dude.
Shut
Fuck.
up.
Google tells me there's nukes there.
I guarantee you it does not.
Bet you it does.
Anyway, I was trying to avoid that because I knew my OPSEC.
I didn't go through any of
But
this training.
I was
could
in-
be talking on my ass right now. I work at a hospital, bro.
But I was there for about 2.5 weeks into orientation, and she dumps me out of nowhere. Like, we had one little tiff over some bullshit. I don't even remember.
Surprising me that she dumped
And
you.
she dumped me because she didn't want to deal with it anymore. I was like, this is really random. A couple weeks later, he gets a hold of me. He goes, hey, are you still talking to, should I even say it? Her actual
She's
name?
not gonna find it.
Alyssa. He's like, have you been talking to her? I was like, we're talking, but we're not back together. He goes, you need to get a hold of her right now. I gave her every chance to be truthful with you, and she hasn't done it. I was like, what is happening? He goes, call her. So he was there for me for all of this because the girl he was fucking
There we go.
found out
everything.
everything about what Alyssa was doing and told him.
Because they were
'cause
best friends.
Hell yeah. That's what this
Because
is how you knew.
they got into an argument. She said, fuck it. Told him, he told me. But none of it came directly from Alyssa to me on what she was doing.
Did you actually call her to talk to her?
Yeah, I hung up with him, called her. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Something is happening. What is happening? She goes, I'm seeing somebody else right now. She broke off with me and started seeing another guy and was dating him.
Was it one of the dudes she had fucked previously?
No, this was a third.
Oh.
Fun.
Yeah.
Whore.
And I was like, listen, I don't know why. I even tried to fight for it. I really don't. Because my whole thing is, if you're an ex, there's a reason you're an ex.
Blinded by the
Yep.
pussy.
And I don't try to pursue any of that. But for some reason, I wanted to. Maybe because her daughter felt like mine, and I
Pussy.
really cared for her, and I wanted to keep that.
That was the hardest thing with my ex with borderline. She had 2 kids, and they were around me more than they were around their dad, to the point where her son started calling me dad, which was really weird for me. I was like, listen, I'm not your dad. Like, but whatever. So,
Did you go out to get the milk?
no, I left for the army. That was my going to get my milk. And then she's like, when I dumped her, after in the middle of AIT, which is A school for army guys, I dumped her, and then she's like, "What am I going to tell my kids?" I'm like, "Tell them I'm dead." I don't know. Like, and that was the only reason why I stuck with this chick, was because I liked her kids more than I liked her, and I felt bad for them because they have her for a mom.
Yeah.
So like, but at the same time, like, I'd have no real ties to this person, so I'm like, I gotta cut my losses here. I gotta just say, you know what? Because being a son of a single mother and going through shit like that, like, I'm just like, I gotta do it. I gotta be the guy that bails.
Yeah.
Like, for my personal reasons, I couldn't do it.
Right.
So
know what's crazier?
What?
This bitch joined the Navy.
Wait.
A year after.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Yep.
And did
So
the
when-
same fucking job as him.
Yeah.
Oh,
but as a
that's crazy.
To try
as
to
a
follow.
reservist,
To try to follow him.
and she's over in Djibouti right now.
In
Oh, that worked
boot.
out, huh?
Yeah. But her training rounds, when she does her training once a month for whatever, was Georgia. She chose Georgia. So, but thankfully, in all 3 years, after only visiting once, I never saw her down there
I never
because
thought she'd
COVID
even make
hit.
it.
So I think training got canceled for them. So I never saw her.
I never thought she'd
Hell
even
yeah.
make it through boot camp.
I joined the Navy to better myself. No, you joined the Navy to follow your ex. Fucking psychopath.
Well, it wasn't X at the time yet.
But that phone call where I was like, "What is going on?" and she confessed that she was seeing somebody else. I was like, "So you broke up with me and started dating somebody right after?" She goes, "Yes."
No.
I was like, "Listen, if there's something else that
it
you
was
have not
before.
told me that you need to tell me right now, say it."
It was before.
I cheated on you
And
when
the
you were in high
truth
school.
shall set you free.
And I found out it was 2 guys. One she worked with at the factory we both worked at.
There's always sharks in the water, boys.
Absolutely.
There's always sharks in the water. All right.
Bitches.
Let's
That
let's
was a
actually,
great gaming topic, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, hey man, sometimes you gotta have story time. Like
Hey.
So let's actually talk about let's talk about some news here. So
The topics that we.
Sean, you don't know
With-
anything about before we actually get into that. So what games do you play?
He used to play more than I do.
Yeah.
What do you play now? Like what do you play mostly?
Godfall.
Godfall, Genshin Impact, which is a great PS4 game that's also on mobile and PC. And that's a really good one because they mix it with, they say it's almost like the Breath of the Wild for Legend of Zelda. And how the graphics and the gameplay are.
The
Yeah.
Asian one,
Yeah.
right? Or it's Japanese, right?
Genshin Impact. That
Yeah.
sounds pretty Japanese to me.
I don't know. I know English, and that's a stretch.
But it's that, Godfall, Spider-Man is pretty good. And then there's Need for Speed and stuff like that.
I have been absolutely sucked into No Man's Sky. Like I can't put it down.
Sucked into space.
Sucked into space. Like there's just so much to find. And that's like why I like it. I'm all about space exploration. I really am. Like space exploration is my jam. Like
You know how you can do that?
by going to space?
If you re-enlist and join the Space Force.
Shut the fuck up, dude. Listen, I mean, you know what? Really, if the Space Force was a thing, I would have done that.
Yeah.
If it was if the Space Force was an actual thing when I joined, I would have gone, because I'm like, you mean I can go to space? There's an actual chance to go to space with this?
Right.
Then yes.
When
Why
it,
wouldn't I?
when it became a thing that they said that they're taking applications to switch, I told my leadership, I'm like, so this is a real thing. I'm putting this on my next career development board.
A lot of people
Expected.
don't understand like the purpose of Space Force, and it has nothing to do with space travel. It has everything to do with orbital technology.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't know shit about what they do, but I know this much. I know this is basically counter intel, more or less, because you got Russia and China who have satellites. And if you think that they don't have like ICBMs in satellites, you're wrong. Like if you don't think they've weaponized satellites, which by the way is a huge violation of a treaty.
Yeah.
They like you're not like that was like the agreement like when after the space race was done, we will not weaponize anything in space to be used against other nations. And the reason why
To be used against aliens.
like it was like we won't use satellites to drop nukes because like you don't need to use ICBM technology like rockets. You don't need to have your fucking nukes on a fucking missile going from like intercontinental ballistic missiles if you have them in a satellite, because there are you can
Go anywhere.
You can orient them over a continent and drop them.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of like one of those things where it's like if you weaponize any space tech to be used against on Earth, like that's going to cause like a fucking problem. So I think that someone they believe is doing that, which I believe China and Russia are,
North Korea.
And it's all basically just to kind of make sure that that stays in check, because there's really no other thing that we have besides NASA to do that. And
I just want to be a guardian of the galaxy.
There was a missed opportunity to call them Rangers, Space Rangers.
They're literally called guardians.
I know, Guardians. I'm like, wow, Destiny 2.
Wow.
Like eyes up, Guardian. Fucking dumb. The fact when I heard what they started calling Space Force people, I was like, Guardians, huh?
I thought it was a joke at first. And
It's
then they're
not.
like, no, it's legitimate. That's what they're called.
The DoD was actually going to get sued because of the logo for Space Force looked a lot like Star Trek.
Yeah.
Did it really?
Yes, it does.
Have you seen
Wow.
it?
No. I didn't know that.
Here,
That's pretty funny.
watch this.
That is hilarious. Just watch him
Space
change it to Buzz
Force
Lightyear's
logo.
logo.
I still think the Netflix special
Here.
is fucking glorious.
It does.
Here's the Space Force logo. There it is.
Official.
Tell me that doesn't look like Star Trek.
It absolutely does.
Look at this. Starfleet Command, United Federation of Planets, United States Space Force, Department of the Air Force.
You know what I'm upset about? I'm upset that
That
they
is
didn't
glorious.
derive from the Navy, because in everything that you've ever seen, it's always the Navy that controls them. You know why? Because they're space ships.
You're stretching words a little bit.
Yeah,
seriously.
No, look,
You-
every
you are.
show, it's always the Navy that is actually in space.
I find it funny that we have Space Force people in regiment.
Is
very
there?
Yeah, there's very few. There's
There,
like 10
there
of
are
them.
like their logos, their names, because like your each branch you're in is a different color based off of your branch.
Oh, okay.
So like
And they're pink.
when your tag, like your Discord name will be like, for me it's gold for Army, and like Marines are red and Navy's blue,
Mm.
and then Air Force,
It's like a light blue.
it's like two different shades of blue for Navy and Air Force, and then like Coast Guard I think is like another form of blue, and Space Force is pink.
What they are, actually. Like bright pink.
Bright pink.
That's
and it's
awesome.
like he told me we had Space Force members. I'm like, no fucking way.
Mm-hmm.
And finally one spoke. And he's like, sorry, I've been really busy with other stuff. And I'm like, holy fuck, you are real.
It's like finding the Chief Warrant Officer 5.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. You never see them.
So are they still doing it where they're just taking members of the Air Force into the Space Force,
No,
or have they
no,
actually
they opened
taken
it up.
have they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They open it up more. And people have been enlisting straight to the Space Force.
Okay,
Like
cool.
from
Like I
the
said,
civilian line.
if that was a thing when I joined, 100%, I'd be
Yeah.
like,
Absolutely.
I'm a guardian in the Space Force.
So you're telling me I could have waited just a couple more years, and that would have been my opening.
Yeah.
No, the Air Force didn't want you. Space Force definitely wouldn't want you.
I would have had time.
The Air Force was running it at the time, so
So a lot of these articles for the Epic versus Apple thing,
So what was Epic attacking them for, or taking them?
being a monopoly. So basically, Apple took Fortnite off of the App Store, and one of the reasons why was because Epic was using a third-party platform to get their,
they're using theirs.
they're using their platform for like any kind of money that was for any kind of income. So like any kind of payments was going through the Epic app, I think,
and not Apple's.
and not Apple's.
And Apple wasn't getting a cut of it, which was
Like the V-Bucks,
Quote, unquote,
the people buying
their-
V-Bucks, Apple wasn't getting a cut of the purchases of V-Bucks,
That's not their money to have.
and they removed.
but it's in their contract.
It's in their contract,
Oh.
so they removed Fortnite from the Play Store or from the iOS store. So because of that, Epic was suing as just like, you're not. That's our stuff. Like, why would you get a cut of that?
Mhm.
And them suing that, like the verdict ended up becoming in favor of both in ways. One of it was Epic lost this suit for the monopoly thing, and they said that they violated it was a breach of contract.
Yeah.
So now they have to pay Apple $6 million.
I think it's $100 million.
No, is it? We'll see. All right, so
Here we go.
from the PC Gamer, Epic wins big in Apple trial verdict. So it says Judge Yvonne Gonzalez Rogers has issued her ruling in Epic versus Apple case, and they'll be crying into their cappuccinos and cupertino. What the fuck is this?
So is this another ad? Are you reading
No,
another
so the
ad?
case was heard earlier this year as the U.S. District Court in Northern California centered around Epic's claim that Apple's insistence that developers use Apple's in-app payment system on iOS is anti-competitive and taking advantage of a monopoly position. Judge Rogers agreed that with Apple on almost all counts, but one big victory, for now, went to Epic. The court ruled that Apple did violate California's unfair competition law and that has ordered Apple to change its iOS app policies within 90 days. Apple won the affirmation that its business model isn't broadly monopolistic, alongside a minor counterclaim about Fortnite royalties. Because Epic breached its contract with Apple and must now pay Apple around $3 million as a cut on Fortnite earnings on iOS between August and October 2020. Plus, it's further 30% on any other earnings in November 1st through the date of the judgment.
So they won, but they lost because it was technically a breach of contract.
Yes.
Okay.
So, so what will Tim Sweeney be doing? Cartwheels, however, is the permanent injunction issued by the court relating to the violation of California's unfair competition law. The injunction, dated September 10th, 2021, will come into force 90 days and reads as follows. Apple Incorporated are hereby permanently restrained and enjoined from prohibiting developers from 1. Including their apps and their metadata buttons, external links, or other calls to action that direct customers on purchasing mechanisms. In addition to in-app purchasing. 2. Communicating with customers through points of contact obtained voluntarily from customers through account registration within the app.
It was very legally worded, and
This
I
means
don't understand it.
This means that, as happened in South Korean courts last week, the court has ruled Apple cannot stop apps from pointing customers towards their own purchasing mechanisms. The ruling does clarify that these will be in addition to Apple's own in-app purchasing system, but it's crystal clear that Apple has to allow apps to send users to third-party payment services and has 90 days to do it.
Does it say that they don't get a cut of that?
That's what that's saying.
Essentially, yes,
Yes.
because if they go to third-party apps to get, to make payment options, Apple doesn't get a cut of that.
So aren't they breaching their own contract when
Not
it's
if
a
the
law
not
in
if the
California?
judge. Well, yes, they're violating a no compete law basically,
So then that contract should be null and void,
or
and
competitive.
Epic Games shouldn't have to pay that out.
It's like a competitive marketing, some competitive law that California has in place to where Apple cannot keep taking profits from everybody to keep the competition low. Let's say, Epic with the Fortnite for people who want to buy V-Bucks or any other app that's in iOS. If you
Right.
wanted to pay into the microtransactions in those apps, Apple got a cut of it versus the developer getting a cut of it. Getting all of it, which
Yeah.
because it's for the developer. Apple already gets a cut of like people buying apps that, let's say you get the Epic Game Store and you buy a game, Apple will get a cut of that just because you bought it through the Apple Store. When it comes to the microtransactions in the games, those are supposed to go straight to the developer.
right,
Well, Apple was also getting a cut of that too.
right.
So that now this court that goes against the Californian law for the the competitive whatever the fuck I just said it was. And now the judge is ruling they have to change that to where no, Apple, you don't get a cut of like the V-Bucks and whatever else. So the full ruling spells out exactly what the judge has and hasn't declared. First of all, the court did not find that Apple is a monopoly. Under the California legal definition as such, the court cannot ultimately include Apple as a monopolist under either federal or state antitrust laws. While the court finds that Apple enjoys considerable market share of over 55% and extraordinarily high profit margins, these factors alone do not show antitrust misconduct. Success is not illegal, reads the ruling. Success is not illegal is at the risk of becoming a new Silicon Valley slogan, and Apple itself has referenced the line in short statements released in the ruling. Today, the court has affirmed that we've known all along the App Store is not in violation of antitrust laws, as the court recognized success is not illegal. We remain committed to ensuring Apple Store is a safe and trusted marketplace that supports a thriving developer community. So the judgment went the way it did, however, because Apple's anti-steering provisions hide critical information from consumers and illegally stifle consumer choice, says the court. When coupled with Apple's incipient antitrust violations, these anti-steering provisions are anti-competitive and a nationwide remedy to eliminate those provisions is warranted. Let's see what else. So Tim Sweeney said, today's ruling isn't a win for developers or for consumers. Epic is fighting for fair competitions among in-app payment methods and app stores for 1 billion consumers.
Yeah, because even though they lost, or technically lost, they got to pay the money to them because of the breach of contract. In reality, in the long run, like, they won.
Yeah.
Especially for other developers, too.
So, and even though they lost the suit for the monopoly, which they're going to appeal, that's what Tim Sweeney said. They're going to appeal to try to win that. Apple's going to lose a lot more because of this.
Oh, yeah. In the long run.
Even though that, like, Epic has to pay Apple $3 million, which is nothing for them.
Yeah, they make that in like a day from fucking Fortnite.
Apple's going to lose out in the long run because they're not going to be making money off of in-app purchases anymore.
You know what I bet that means? iPhones are going to be even more expensive.
Y'all can have that shit because
Yeah, I'm not buying that shit.
I roll with Android.
So do I.
I've been rolling with Android since fucking 2017.
I was really hoping it was going to be before that.
No, I had an iPhone. I had an iPhone 4 from 2011 or from 2012 until 2016.
I can imagine how fast your battery died.
Oh, at near the end, it died real fast.
Mm-hmm.
And with each update, I mean, I didn't feel like I needed another phone. Like the phone that I had was like, it was an iPhone, and like it works. I can make calls, I can text, I can use the apps I use.
You're just
like
permanently connected.
basically,
to a charger.
it was no, not really. Even still, like not really. Like my phone, like well, up until they started like throttling batteries, my battery was okay.
They've always done that. They admitted to that.
I know they did. And
But the
I mean,
shitty
I
thing
noticed
is-
that the battery was getting shit, but I replaced the battery, so the battery ended up becoming like a little bit more proficient. So it wasn't a big issue because I came home on leave, got a new battery.
Okay.
So
But I mean, it's crazy. You can't even open them.
no,
Take
No,
them
not
inside.
well, the iPhone 4 you could.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
At,
the
at
iPhone,
one point that you could actually do that with
I
all
could,
of them,
like,
and then
I-
they quit.
I could replace my own screen on an iPhone 4, and I did.
I remember those. I remember you could do that.
Like you could open the iPhone 4.
I didn't know that they had that.
But I mean, I remember it was like really fucking small.
Yeah.
and like
The crazy thing is that nothing changed. They basically just said, "Yeah, we're doing that,"
yeah. So
and nothing.
essentially, with this whole thing, Apple and Epic both lost in a way.
Essentially,
But in the long run, Epic won because other developers can use third-party outlets to monetize, so they'll get more of a cut of that, and Apple won't. So
Which is good because Apple already makes enough money through everything else that they do.
I know.
Why take
I mean,
away from other
I mean, shit. They don't
consumers?
even fucking give you the block for your charger anymore.
No, they don't.
they're just eliminating things and
I've
then
noticed-
selling them separately.
I've noticed a lot more technology no longer comes with a block for your charger.
Well, I think it's because unlike new customers,
because yeah, okay. I'm just saying. Go continue.
with new customers that they probably don't get very often, it's their ones that have stuck with them for years. So
they
every
automatically-
phone, they
yeah.
already have one. And you can use the same charger over and over again for every single
Or
phone.
you can just go to the store and buy one.
And
And that's so stupid. It's like you're really gonna you're making people buy these iPhones, and they're coming with fewer and fewer other accessories to keep your phone going.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say for me, if I went back to iPhone, I would have to go buy a new charger on top of buying a phone,
Yep.
which is the dumbest fucking thing ever.
Because if you wanted to be part of the trend and get the brand new phone, you're already spending $1,200-$1,300.
I
I
know.
hate that they're taking things that are usually universal and then they're changing them so you have to purchase their version and then it's also sold separately.
Yes, I noticed they're changing their chargers to be USB-C now.
Wow.
Alicia's iPad is USB-C.
That's shocking.
So that's
That
what
is.
I said. I was just like, oh, fuck, I left my charger at work. She's like, you can use my iPad charger. I'm like, no, I can't. She's like, yeah, it's the same charger. I'm like,
It's-
no way. And I look, her fucking iPad is a USB-C port. And I was like, no way. When did that happen?
It's got to be because it's the most efficient. Like, it's got to be more efficient than their method.
I'm assuming it is. and like USB-C ports are more efficient than USB, and like the iPhone one.
Yeah.
I bet it's because they couldn't develop a more efficient way yet, so they're like,
For the
we gotta
super,
adapt
like the
it.
super fast
Hey.
charging.
We gotta do it.
Honestly, like, but I prefer that everybody have the same fucking USB cable.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to keep to like be different.
Right.
Because now you're just like, oh fuck, I need to get a new cable for my iPhone, but I can't. I have to have an iPhone cord. I can't just go and like get a USB cable. And I'm like, do you understand like how convenient and like resource saving it is just for everyone to use the same cable? It only makes sense, but Apple loves to be different for some reason.
I hate that we've gotten rid of the headphone jack.
Oh yeah, I saw
Headphone
that
port.
too. But you know what? Samsung doesn't get
Yeah,
rid of
they
the
did.
headphone.
Yes.
When
well,
they did?
They got rid of theirs.
Yeah, on the ones that we
No
got.
way.
Yeah.
Yep.
On
These
the-
don't have it. All it has is a port.
What do you
for
have?
The same as him.
Yeah, we got the Note 20 Ultra.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a Note. What about the Galaxies?
I'm not
I don't
sure.
know.
I think the newer ones still got rid of them.
No way.
My one previous was a Note as well, and it had the headphone jack still, because I would use it in my car. I would just plug the little thing in, and now it's only Bluetooth.
Well, my phone, my car has like Android and Apple Audio. So if I plug my USB cable into my phone, like
I can do that.
I don't
too.
have to run Bluetooth if I don't want to. That basically my USB cable is my aux port.
Yeah, I have that too. I just
But it
don't
also
set it
runs
up.
my apps into my phone, so like, or into my car. So like, when I use my maps, it won't actually. If I USB plug my phone in my car, it won't let me use my. It won't let me open my phone to use the maps.
I don't like that.
I have to use maps on the dashboard.
I don't like that.
It keeps you. I don't know why they do
Hands
it.
free, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But I think I just hate that you can't use regular headphones and everything now.
Yeah, I know.
Because if you go on a plane or some places, like, you have to have corded headphones.
Yeah, you can't
You
you
can't
can't,
use
be
Bluetooth.
rolling with Bluetooth because on a plane and shit they won't let you.
And like in the Navy on ships, you can't have Bluetooth.
No, it's like a huge. That's a big no-no.
Oh, yeah.
Kicking shit.
Sorry. They also have devices on ship to where they'll go around ship during
They'll
certain
do Bluetooth,
times.
Bluetooth checks.
Yeah, they can detect if your Bluetooth is on, it'll detect the signal and they'll confiscate it.
There was when I was doing this warfighter exercise, we were doing this like North Korean like simulation exercise. We couldn't even have our phones in the building for 12 hours a day. No phones allowed.
Yeah.
And they literally were walking around with a scanner. They would walk into each room, hit a button and scan, and then there was actually one time our colonel had his phone on him. And they're like, "There's a phone in here. Who's got their phone?" And then the commander was like, "Oh shit, I forgot to put my phone in the locker." I'm like, "Sir, we need you to come outside and put your phone in the locker."
Oof.
So it was like they literally like they have a scanner and you could turn they said even if you turn your phone off, it'll still find it. It'll ping it. So they were walking around with this tablet all day. People walking around like groups of 3, just fucking hitting the button and looking for people's phones.
Pretty much everywhere.
I was
Gitmo
like,
is
holy
that.
shit.
You can't have your phone anywhere in Gitmo.
So let's talk about Battlefield, guys.
I'd love to talk about it if it were coming out, but no.
It's supposed to come after a day after my birthday. Not anymore.
Did you see that? What else I sent you though of the early release?
Yeah, they pushed the early release, which is stupid because guess what? It's not it's at this point it's not an early release anymore.
Yeah, it's just earlier than whatever.
So they're still making you pay. So they delayed it, and now they're going to keep making people want to pay more if you want to play it before the new release date.
The new Galaxy doesn't have it.
They don't even come with chargers.
No way.
Yeah.
Like the cable?
Yeah. It does not have earphones or charger plug in the box because
The plug.
minimize the
Okay.
impact.
But it comes with the cable.
Yeah, but no plug, just like the Apple. I didn't know that.
It's depressing. Now on to another depressing topic.
Yep. So for those that don't know, how do you make this bigger?
Like zoom in more?
Yeah.
Should be within the settings. Like on the 3.
Control and then use your
Let's see.
scroll mouse.
Let's use this as a moment to take a break.
There we go.
There you go.
I got you.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
I didn't even know that.
Oh yeah, that looks like it shows a bit. So Battlefield 2042 joins recent game delay frenzy, moves to November. Granted, it's not a long delay, but it's still one nonetheless.
Yeah, it's about a month.
Fans left wondering whether all announced modes will land on launch day.
Nothing's coming out.
No.
The only thing that will ever fucking come out is Call of Duty because they don't give a shit about their fan base.
Yeah, no. Speaking of Call of Duty, I was watching a TikTok while taking a shit, and there are hackers flooding the Vanguard beta.
I was really hoping that wouldn't be happening.
I mean, it's a beta.
But still.
Who gives a fuck? The game comes out in like a month.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they
But they
already
also-
said that they're going to
Or
have
2 months.
anti-cheats.
Well, no, they haven't implemented it yet regardless.
But they promised it was going to come out.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Look at me. Look at me.
Like, come in real close.
Look at me. Come close. Vanguard is going to be the same shit as everything else. Garbage, cut, paste, no anti-cheat, and you're going to be like, it's the next best thing since sliced bread. And then it's going to be the same, and then you're going to bitch about that. So have fun with that, Call of Duty fanboys. COD sucks. Fucking, it always will. So
I
anyway.
also want to point out that sliced bread is really not that old.
No, it's not. So Battlefield 2042 has been delayed from its initial October 22nd release date, though it was still launched this year, EA announced today. This was actually a couple days ago. The multiplayer only shooter will now hit stores on November 19th, the publisher said in a statement.
They couldn't push it till there's no way they can push it till next year.
No way.
They'll lose.
It's
so
gonna
many
be a
sales.
big problem. Citing the complications of developing games in a work-from-home environment during a global pandemic, by now a familiar challenge in countless game markets.
When in doubt, blame COVID.
Yeah, when in doubt, blame COVID. Had to delay other high-profile 2021 games. DICE assured fans that the team is working on finishing touches rather than dealing with any kind of development trouble. I'm going to call bullshit.
Well, they're working in the pandemic, though.
So they've been saying all it is they're just smoothing out like issues, and I'm like, I don't think that's the case, because you want to know why? You want to know one thing that I have noticed that they have not showcased? Destruction.
Yeah. Like major destruction.
Now, to find some destruction, you can find some of the leaked alpha footage that people were, violating their NDAs to put out.
Anonymously.
I was watching a video where a guy was driving a tank and he was shooting at a building. He drove his tank into the building and it didn't even break a wall. Which is not ever been the case for any of the battlefields.
No.
That sounds like a visual glitch.
No, he hit it and the tank just stopped. No break. Nothing. Granny hit the corner, but this is supposed to be like their most dynamic destruction they've ever had in a Battlefield game, supposedly. So he started shooting the building with a tank, and it looked exactly like how it does in Battlefield 4. Little, like, just fucking, like, sections of the wall getting a hole in it. And no full-scale destruction. Granted, the smoke plumes from, like, impacting into buildings look really good. They look real. And aside from that, the destruction that they've been claiming for this game has never been shown.
You know how they're going to have jets and everything like that?
Yeah.
I know it's going to happen.
What?
Someone's going to fly a jet into one of the towers.
Yeah, and?
They're going to make...
A 9/11?
Yeah.
The building won't, like, it would take a lot of jets to do that, because it's not going to be like...
and it's going to go down.
One thing I did notice that they added visually to the jets, which is really cool, is like when jets are flying at high speed and they egress, they get that that plume over their wings. They added that, so that looks cool. Like I saw the jets flow flying, and every time they bank off, like you get the fucking condensation plumes from the atmosphere, from the air, going over the wings.
Detail.
And then as they start going like fast, like you'll start to see like almost go supersonic.
That is pretty nice.
So they added some like effects like that, which is cool. But the destruction has always been like their most showcased thing.
Absolutely.
And they said that the entire environment of every map is just fully destructible.
The
So
most destructible
you would
one
hope
I've
so.
seen is
That's what
Battlefield
they've
1
claimed,
so
and they
far.
haven't shown it yet.
Yeah. But that could...
And I wonder why. Because
See-
I think what they're trying to do is, we destroy stuff, and that's been our biggest thing. Their biggest videos that they've been showing is more of the environmental destruction.
No, the biggest videos they've been showing are like the operators.
For some of because I suppose it was their teaser. 'Cause
And then
it showed
the
them
other
jumping
the
off,
other
and
thing
it
I
was
noticed,
those tornadoes.
you know the battlefield takedowns that you normally see where it's first person view of you.
Yeah, they changed it third person.
They changed it to be. It looks exactly like Call of Duty, like that.
Because they expect their fans to think that's what they want.
That's not what we want. I liked the fucking like you just grab a guy, turn him around, fucking stab him, then pull his dog tags. And
that's
shit off.
one of the minor things that they're doing to appeal to other gamers, like COD people, to bring a few people over from that.
Yeah.
But without truly changing anything of the game.
I don't want them to do that. That was the one thing where it sets it apart. It's more immersive when it looks like it's in your view and you're doing it. You know, that was like the coolest thing, the bayonet charging. Like it's always been like that. Now they're changing it to where it looks like they showed a takedown where like a fucking dude pulls out an asp and then hits them in the legs and then turns them and like stabs him when he turns them around.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that looks exactly like a Call of Duty takedown that I've seen.
That even sounds like the same thing.
The animations look exactly the same. And I'm
It
like,
does.
no way. Like, I don't like that at all. That looks way too much like Call of Duty.
That's just one of the small things that they're changing.
I hope they don't. I don't like that. I don't like that because it's just like, everyone's like, it's just like, it looks like Call of Duty. Like they copied them. Like I was hoping that this would be like one of those battlefields where they're not going to like, people are going to be like, they copied COD. Anyway.
Everyone's always going to say that regardless.
I know.
I think that's something I can live with though.
Yeah.
Because it sucks. It's not something that we want. I can live with that.
Anyway, so let's see. DICE assured fans the team is working hard to finish touches rather than deal with any kind of development trouble. The developer also reiterated that there would be updates later this month regarding 2042's open beta. In other words, this is a pandemic business as usual.
Even they said, we're blaming COVID again.
After Battlefield 2042 is revealed during EA's June E3 news blitz, the publisher announced that the game will feature 3 modes, one of which are Battle Royale related. All-Out Warfare, traditional Battlefield Deathmatch mode, is finally upgrading to 128 players on current gen consoles and PC. Battlefield Portal is a mashup game that lets players customize matches with elements of Battlefield 1942, Bad Company 2, and Battlefield 3 inside of 2042 maps. Hazard Zone is an alleged squad-based mode that EA has thus far been mum on. Today's announcement didn't specify whether all 3 modes would launch with the game. As far as the seemingly endless train of 2021 delays is concerned, DICE isn't as bad as it could be. Earlier this week, Techland confirmed its long in production Dying Light 2 is being pushed back to February 2nd, while Ubisoft announced this week that its guitar instruction game, Rocksmith, is shifting to 2022. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Guitar instruction game?
Yeah. Sony also recently announced that Horizon Forbidden West will move to February 28th from its original late 2021 launch. So this is also coming from them talking about how they can't wait for the open beta. They can't wait for launch day. They can't wait for all the polish that they're about to show. They basically said the game was done. And now they're delaying it. Anybody getting Cyberpunk reminders?
Absolutely.
No.
Something big's going to happen, and I feel like during launch time, because if they push it back any farther...
If they push it back any farther, it's going to kill this game.
I disagree. Because Cyberpunk, they said that they were developing it for fucking ever. And they weren't. And they were creating so much hype around it.
Well, okay, there is a little bit of more hype around this Battlefield versus the last 2.
Yeah.
So,
but they're not the ones creating it, really. It's
No.
everyone around.
Right. The biggest problem, and this happens every year a Battlefield game comes out, they have a laundry list of issues. Server issues being one, and lag, and rubber banding, and connection, all that shit, texturing. Those are the top things that always plague a Battlefield game.
I don't think we can avoid that because of all because college is the same way. It's everyone.
No,
that
we
jumps
can't.
on at
We
the
can't
very same
avoid
time.
it, but it's if they're trying to beat. They're also now launching around the same time as Call of Duty.
I think it's 2 days after?
That could be good or bad. No one knows. Doctor,
No.
in fact, you know what?
They
Let's
come
talk
out in
about
November, I think, don't they?
Yeah. I
Doctor-
think it's actually like the 9th, isn't it?
Yeah. COD comes out still a month
Doctor
later.
Disrespect actually chimed in on this. So it says here, and let me zoom in a little bit.
Why it's a concern.
So Doctor Disrespect explains why Battlefield 2042's delay is concern for COD Vanguard. While gaming and world has definitely left dismayed Battlefield 2042's release date delay, Dr. Disrespect believes it could actually be bad news for COD. Even though Call of Duty and Battlefield have their own unique selling points, the powerhouse gaming franchise have been pitted against each other for the longest time. They're both first-person shooters at the end of the day. With Vanguard and 2042 set to release around the same time as each other, the long-standing FPS battle has been reignited yet again, though Battlefield fans will have to wait a bit longer. Amid reports that the game could be delayed for months, I think I know where this is going. Seeing all the tech issues from the open beta and the hacking in the open beta for Vanguard, I think he's going to get at, like, all the issues that COD's going to have at launch aren't going to be as bad as Battlefield's, and people are going to go there. So Battlefield was, instead, pushed back a few weeks to the end of November, weeks after the Call of Duty Vanguard drops. While some may think it gives COD a huge advantage, Dr. Disrespect isn't so sure. As the news of the delay hit during his stream, the two-time was slightly unsure if the real unit his duo if it was real until his duo partner Tim the Tatman searched it out to make sure that Doc wasn't falling for a hoax. After figuring out that Battlefield would now release way after Vanguard, Tim suggested that the delay was a huge dub for COD, but Doc wasn't so sure. I don't know, man. It actually puts a little pressure on Call of Duty, the former COD dev said. Now Call of Duty is like they've got to meet a certain level of expectation or else it's going to get boring real fast, and then boom, Battlefield comes out. Boom, 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 Battle Royale. So Tim did point out that when it comes to Warzone, Battlefield may be playing from behind the 8-ball, given that Warzone integration with Vanguard rumored to come around the time Battlefield's new release date. The doc noted that he wasn't sure how the dates lined up, so if he could play into COD's into COD's hands, but we'll have to wait to see what happens during when the two games finally hit the shelves. Oh, look at that. Vanguard players furious as hackers ruin beta matches.
And there it is.
Vanguard beta is live, giving players a chance to jump into a game early and test out some things out. While the beta is more than devs test to fix things for launch, players are upset that hackers have started to appear, ruining the experience. Players that pre-ordered Vanguard or received access code and play the game. With tons of different maps, modes, weapons, there are so many things to try out in early access, even though the Vanguard is bringing a new anti-cheat to Warzone. No, it's not. It appears that might need to be implemented into Vanguard's multiplayer. It's already happening in Vanguard. Let's see.
You know what the problem is? PC.
Oh, cool. Look at that. Let's see that again, shall we?
It does seem strictly to be more of the PC side that is ruining all of it.
It's always PC.
There are some consoles that are able to do it, but you have to do a lot of work to get something into that.
Usually it requires a hardware and like install for that.
Yeah.
Like you need like a fucking Cronus or something.
That's not. No, it's not. Cronus doesn't do that. Cronus is for your controller. Cronus just basically gives you the most perfect modded controller you could think of. It's macros.
This dude's already got Damascus on his fucking Vanguard gun.
You know that they implemented the COD zombies into Warzone now.
Fuck them.
Or the camos.
Yeah, I mean, who cares? Who really cares?
You know what's gonna get me to buy Vanguard?
What?
That Treyarch is doing the zombies.
That's not even enough for me.
And I love the zombies. I'm not gonna lie. This is the best zombies that I've played since Black Ops 2. I haven't had this much fun in zombies since Black Ops 2.
But
I mean,
this
the
isn't
zombies
gonna be-
is fun, but I mean that's one mode versus the entire game.
I mean, we've already talked about it. 30% of COD players, especially Treyarch games, buy the games specifically for zombies
Yeah.
and never touch anything else.
All right, let's talk about Grand Theft Auto here.
Okay.
So
GTA 6?
GTA 5, baby. GTA 5.
We'll never see a GTA 6.
No.
8 more years.
Yeah, who knows?
That's low balling.
So GTA 5, the Ps5 Trailer Backlash, explained The GTA 5 remake trailer of the PlayStation Showcase failed to impress fans, emphasizing many problems that Rockstar faces. While numerous exciting announcements in the trailers came out of Sony's PlayStation Showcase last week, there appears to be a pretty unanimous consensus that Let me zoom in. That Rockstar's contribution, it's severely lacking. The trailer Rockstar released for Grand Theft Auto 5, expanded and enhanced, has massed a startling amount of dislikes across various channels. Across social media channels like Twitter and Reddit, fans of the series have been vocal about their disappointment. A mixed reaction to other remastered GTA 5 isn't altogether surprising, as the game is already available on PS4 as well as Xbox One. Comments beneath the trailer for the PS5 version of the game frequently question the necessity of a new version. While there has been coverage of the developer's exploitative workplace, Rockstar continued its mainstream success by producing Red Dead Redemption 2, which is hugely successful despite the aforementioned working conditions. However, with both industry practices and the quality of the product under critique at the moment, Rockstar's GTA 5 blunder could indicate a larger downward perception of the company. So, let's talk about the trailer. It's not hard to find sources fans' dismay in the GTA 5 trailer, as comments and social media posts have made them explicit. The biggest issue is that the trailer has very few notable changes to the game, with a secondary underlying disappointment that Rockstar is focusing on a remake of old content rather than working on anything new. The realities of Rockstar, how it conducts development, and the respect is discussed below, but from the perspective of the fans, the past 2 years have been difficult for Rockstar Games fans. Gamers are, in general, hungry for new content. This is exacerbated by the release of the latest generation for consoles. PS5 and Xbox Series XS fans want content specifically designed for the console they paid hundreds of dollars for. And that's true. We do. We want more fucking games designed for our platforms, and we have yet to really see them.
What this is telling me is, like, is this just gonna improve the graphics?
Apparently, it's a graphical upgrade, and they're adding a few extra things, but people are like, this is no different than what we've been doing. And especially PC players are voicing out, saying this isn't anything. Like, if you look at the trailer, people are, like, showing, like, there's a lot of this that aren't different.
Why are the PC players even fucking talking? Because the update's not even for them.
It's for the PS5 to show more of the rendering skills that the PS5
because
has.
as a community, they're just like, they're calling Take-Two and Rockstar out, saying, like, you aren't doing anything to, like, you aren't doing anything that's very innovative for the platform, like for PS5, or like for porting it. So why are you selling people another copy of this game?
See, that's the main thing, is if it's going to cost extra money.
I'm sure it will.
Probably $10 just to get the upgrade.
Yeah, it'll be a $70.
Because you can still play it on PS5. Because it'll just be the PS4 version.
Right.
So if it...
But if you want the true PS5 experience, you got to pay extra for it.
So that would be my issue, is if it costs extra money, if you don't already have the game, or so if you already have the game and it costs more money to get.
And Sony already said that they will be charging people extra for the PS5 version.
If you
want the
than
PS4,
like $5,
PS5.
I have an issue with.
And you know what the other thing? I'm looking at this right here. GTA 5 for PS5 and Xbox Series X was delayed.
For the same game that they already got. What did they delay?
Right. It's like, what are you delaying?
The upgraded graphics?
No one knows. It's like, you really are delaying a game that, like...
It's been out for 8 years.
Yeah.
Well, it couldn't be the game in general. It's got to be the graphics, because you can still play the game.
Well, yeah, of course. But yeah, it's probably for the rendering and the upgrade from PS4 to PS5.
It's stupid. The whole fucking thing is stupid.
And all those time, instead of wasting their time to do that, they can put all that source into GTA 6.
And they're not.
No.
I just think PC players shut the fuck up, because it's not for them.
Well, I mean, it sounds like they're speaking up for...
They're speaking up for
Yeah.
consoles, not against. They're basically saying, like, hey, that's not fair for them. Like, these guys, like, they don't care because they have to, like, they got the best of the best. Like, they're like, wait, you're claiming to have an upgrade for these consoles, yet so far what you've shown is not an upgrade for these consoles. Like,
No.
it's the same shit. And you want to make people pay for it. They're calling out Rockstar and Take-Two for basically milking the cow even more than they have been.
Absolutely.
But are they marketing it as new content or just upgraded graphics?
They're marketing it as like a complete overhaul of the game. expanded and enhanced is amassed startling amount of dislikes. I already read that.
I think they got to change the wording then.
Because it even says
It may
new
not
trailer,
even be
but
coming
that's
off
what they're
as-
getting called out for. It's the
Yeah.
same trailer that they've already used.
It may not even be coming on. It could just be taken. It could be being taken differently than what they had intended it to be taken as.
Here, look at this. So as such, the GTA 5 expanded and enhanced trailer failed to show any major graphical or gameplay improvements, and
Then fuck them.
and instead cites vague platitudes such as enhanced gameplay and seamless character switching and more. The graphics look remarkably similar to PS4 Xbox One version and seem to be well below the capabilities of the PS5 and Xbox Series X. Rockstar appears to still be pushing GTA Online, an online multiplayer version of the game that has been successful since 2013.
the
Admittedly,
roleplay one?
GTA Online generates significant revenue for Rockstar through microtransactions, so focus makes sense.
Is that the roleplay one?
You can roleplay in it, yeah. Like it's not like you don't have to. It's
Well, there's specific like role. I know there's roleplay servers and shit that people and they're apparently super popular, which is weird to me. But
I don't understand it myself. I remember playing with some guys, and they're like, "You want to roleplay on GTA?" I'm like, "What the fuck?"
like people legitimately take it as a job.
I know they're
Like,
just like
They'll go to work and they'll earn this cash. I'm like, you just play Second Life. What the fuck?
I don't understand it myself. I
Well,
don't
just like
get
those,
it.
just like those games where you're a semi truck driver online, and you're driving around in a truck, and you're acting like it's your everyday job.
It's like a
Living
driving simulator.
vicariously.
Yeah, and they take that so serious. Like I saw a video earlier today for GTA where he was acting like a cop.
Yeah, that's the
And-
roleplay stuff.
Yeah, and he was acting like an actual everyday cop trying to arrest somebody, and he
It's
ends up.
weird.
I
It
think
is.
it's the reason that Second Life was so popular, or is so popular, I guess, because people are living lives that like they may want to be or wish that they had, and they're escaping their own realities.
Yeah. I want to fix your mic boom.
Mine?
Yeah, because it's like literally like in your face on the camera.
Yeah, shove it in your face.
No, I gotta. It's like. Let's see if I do this. That's stupid.
Why?
I didn't want to mess too much and accidentally break something of yours.
Don't you worry about it.
Isn't it just gonna be closer to the camera now?
Not if I do this.
And then bring it out.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay, that works.
Don't worry, we'll put other things in your face.
I can't wait for it.
Don't tease me.
There we go. Much cleaner. Anyway,
I wanted to say something.
this is our
I had
first
nothing.
video recording with 3 people, so
I had nothing.
I'm like,
I'm the
you
trial
were
dummy.
actually supposed to sit right here,
Right.
Yeah.
so that wouldn't have been an issue.
Things didn't get to work out that way, and
Nope.
you'll figure it out.
Yeah. I
Trial
know.
and error.
Once he gets
It's
a
all
PC.
trial and error. I mean,
Well, I mean, we've got it figured out. We just need more powerful equipment,
yeah.
Yeah.
ultimately.
So we're gonna talk about the next Call of Duty, which I don't want.
The
to.
next Call of Duty.
The
After
next
Vanguard.
one, after Vanguard.
The next shitbox.
So next year's Call of Duty game is Modern Warfare 2.
Shocker. I wonder what the next one will
Wow, very innovative.
They've already used that title. Think of something else.
be. I bet I know what's going to be after that.
Modern Warfare 3.
Well, no, because it won't be Infinite Warfare. Or Infinity Ward, sorry.
Yeah,
It'll
what-
be probably Black Ops 1 or something. Or a remake of Black Ops 2.
I could give 2 fucks. I really could.
I don't want them to ruin the golden age of Call of Duty.
They're
like
going
that.
to. They've already started to. So, next year's Call of Duty game is Modern Warfare 2. Project Cortex appears to be linked to a campaign focused on Colombian drug cartels. Next year's Call of Duty game will be a sequel of 2019's Modern Warfare.
Boo.
That's according to the. Why?
I hated
Modern Warfare was amazing. The
I
campaign
fucking-
was so good.
I thought it was good.
The
I thought it was really
yeah,
good.
the campaign, but I'm talking about the multiplayer shit.
I thought that was
Well-
good too.
I hated it. It fucking literally played to campers and slow gameplay.
Yeah, well, I mean, they wanted to go for slower tactical gameplay, but it ended up being way too campy.
Tactical.
Yeah.
because that was their whole aspect when it come to how the gameplay for the campaign started with. It was more tactical on how you did your movements.
That's
Yeah.
fine if it's for the campaign.
And that was what they were trying to aim for with their multiplayer, but it didn't work out that way.
Come on, we know how that's gonna work. They know that they know who they're catering to. They're catering to the players that suck at Call of Duty that can't play, so they're trying to make it better for them. So because that's where their real money makers are. That's why the community. We've talked about this before with
Yeah, we
Alicia.
have.
They don't give a shit about the real players.
They only give a
'Cause
shit
we're not
about
where
what makes
all the
them money.
is.
So.
Yeah, we're not the major part of their money.
No.
So that's according to accredited insider Tom Henderson. That matches what VGC has heard from its own sources. It looks like COD 2022 is codenamed Project Cortez. Henderson tweeted on Monday, it's expected to be a sequel to Modern Warfare 2019. Project Cortez first appeared at a data mine list of GeForce Now games this week, with Infinity Ward listed as a developer. According to people with knowledge, the Activision plans, Modern Warfare's sequel will include a campaign involving U.S. Special Forces fighting a covert war against Colombian drug cartels. In a possible link to Modern Warfare 2's alleged codename, this also premised a 1994 Harrison Ford movie, Clear and Present Danger, whose main villain is a character Colonel Feliz Cortez. Since the 2019 installment's subsequent Call of Duty release have been handled by Treyarch, Raven, and Sledgehammer Games, meaning Modern Warfare developer Infinity Ward will have had 3 years to prepare for the sequel. Activision recently confirmed that all of its core studios are now working on the Call of Duty franchise. The publisher announced the latest premium entry of the blockbuster series, Call of Duty Vanguard, last month when it said 8 of its 10 core studios are contributing to the upcoming game for the free-to-play Warzone. Last month, Activision also announced the formation of Internal Mobile Studio, which is currently working on a new entry of the COD series. Some 2,000 people were believed that working on COD franchise, Activision Blizzard is currently on a major recruitment drive to boost its development resources. VGC analysis published July highlighted the content of Raven's recent Warzone recruitment drive, blah, 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 blah. I don't care about COD anymore.
So what they've been doing with Modern Warfare's map that they've been changing once already, they're changing it again to go with Vanguard, aren't they not?
Are you talking about Warzone?
Yeah.
Yes. They're changing the map to be a Pacific Theater map.
We can't really say that they've changed the map.
They nuked it
well, the one that they did for Cold War is not a change, but the one that's coming out for Vanguard is not the same
it's
map.
a fully different
Right.
That's a
map,
completely different map, which it only took them how long to fucking put that out?
I remember the last time they said they were going to do that.
Yeah, fucking retards. I'm so
they're
tired
supposed to
of
already
it.
had a different
I am
map.
so tired of it.
All the Ural Mountains
Yeah.
was supposed to be the new map.
Right.
So let's talk about PlayStation 4. Do you have a PS5? Yeah.
No.
No, he doesn't.
No, I still have
He's
the
been
PS4.
trying to find one.
I thought Godfall was only on PS5.
No,
What the fuck?
thankfully enough.
It's just almost nothing is
That might be why you
released.
couldn't see that giant dragon.
No, I think that was just a glitch
Yeah,
that he
it
was
was a
experiencing.
bad glitch. Fighting an invisible dragon.
Sounds fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was-
I don't think anything's exclusively come out only on PS5 and not on PS4.
The future games that they've brought out
Yeah.
or that
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
coming out will probably, but still be
Af-
PS4.
After I
Like the
think
new Horizon?
Yeah, after New Horizon.
That's going to be on
They talked
PS4
about.
also.
Yep.
No, I'm
I-
saying
I-
after that.
that's
said
what I
that
figured. And
they're
they
gonna have
just
games
they postponed that as well, didn't they?
They delayed it to February, yeah.
And I'm looking forward
There's
to
a big controversy going around with that one, too, because remember last time, I think it was Nelson was on and talked about this, Horizon Forbidden West, there was a big controversy that would not have a free PS5 upgrade after they promised that it would.
Mhm.
And they reversed that decision since.
Yep. And they said that afterwards.
After that, going forward, there will be no longer any free
Free upgrades.
upgrades.
And that was coming from Sony.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And which I think they're dropping the ball hard on that one, because if you look at Xbox Game Pass, you just pay for the Game Pass and every version of the game is on there.
Well, they've been pushing their stuff for like their version of that too, and that could be their play to move people towards the
Game Pass?
the Sony's pass. Yeah.
But you already got your PlayStation Plus membership.
But it
that
does.
should be
It's
included with
not.
that,
but
just like
it's not
Xbox.
like a Games Pass. Games Pass is basically Netflix for games on Xbox.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you pay for the Games Pass, and you have access to all the games on their Games Pass.
Right.
Every version of that game. So if you have a Series X and the game is out on Series X, you could play that version.
Because that's separate from Xbox Live.
Right.
And you
yeah,
only pay
that's true.
one thing for all of them, and they're putting their like launch titles on the Game Pass, which is huge. that they're doing that.
Really is.
So let's talk about the PS4 update.
I'm so glad I haven't updated mine.
So PS4 system software update 9.0 is breaking some consoles. Yesterday, Sony released a small system software update version 9.0 for the PS4, but even though it was a relatively small patch at 490 megabytes, it's causing serious problems for some consoles. For the vast majority of PS4 owners, the update installs without issue. However, a Reddit thread details multiple problems, including the PS4 being very slow after the update or unable to gain access to PlayStation Network. Some consoles are crashing, and in worst case, the update has bricked Sony's hardware. So far, there doesn't seem to be any clear link between the consoles affected. The base PS4, the PS4 Slim, and the PS4 Pro are all reported as experiencing these problems. Having USB storage plugged into the console doesn't seem to make any difference either. After it was suspected that the potential cause, in some cases, the update won't even finish installing in spite of the multiple attempts to do so. That may end up being a blessing in disguise for those PS4 owners. If you haven't updated the system software to 9.0 yet, it seems to be the best thing to do is wait to see how Sony reacts. We may end up getting a version 9.01 firmware update before the week is over, assuming Sony manages to quickly identify what is causing the problems. What other issues?
Which they haven't addressed yet.
What were the other issues that you were saying?
There's been some ones where like they haven't been able to do anything.
Like, what do you mean?
Like they haven't been able to access anything.
Like the PlayStation Network and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, that was okay. So what I just read.
Kind of. There was a couple other ones, and it was in a different article. But the main one was the bricking that I was reading that they were talking about.
Well, every so often they end up having some kind of software issue where you can't get into anything because, for whatever reasons, or their whole network will just be shut down for a while.
Yeah,
They
but I
always
mean that's
seem
when
to
they're
have-
working on it. When
yeah.
the network itself is down. But this was on the system that they couldn't access, like
Right.
the store. They couldn't access anything.
All right, let's talk
Here
about
we go.
some big news from Twitch.
It's actually the exact article that I read.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. So Twitch's new music deal might be the end of DMCA strikes for streamers. Hell yeah. According to the report by Billboard, Twitch and National Music Publishers Association are close to signing a music licensing agreement that would put an end to the ongoing DMCA saga on the platform.
Which is huge because Facebook already has that shit.
I know. And Twitch is behind the curve. In 2020, just about everyone sought entertainment online, in which we saw an immense growth of Twitch. With a lot more eyes on the platform, record labels began to catch up with the online entertainment, with some beginning to realize that streamers were broadcasting licensed music in the background of their content, which, under fair use law, is not a DMCA violation. Under fair use, if you are not selling that music as your own, and you have it in the background, and you're flushing content over that music, you're not violating DMCA under fair use.
You are. There was, remember Devin Nash? I sent you one of his videos. He had a former industry person he's the one that created rock. It's like Pebble Rock or...
So how does it violate still?
It's the way it's written because people are getting only one play is being recorded for that, right? So like you're on Spotify. Spotify is only getting that one play for that song, but they say they're a larger streamer and they got 1,000 viewers. 1,000 viewers are hearing that, so that's 1,000 plays that's not being recorded and they're not getting the credit for.
Okay.
So that's where it falls into the DMCA.
But you would think that would cause, I like what this guy's listening to. I'm going to go try to listen to it on Spotify, YouTube, yada, yada, whatever.
Yeah, you would think
It doesn't work the same as it does like video games and with music.
I don't see how not. There's been plenty of times where I've been in a stream where I'm like, what is that song? And they're like, I'll send you the link. And it goes to Spotify, and then I play the song on Spotify on my own.
But because so many people it's just background music, it's far less. Like technically, the gaming industry can do the same thing. Like if they can claim the same stuff that the music industry can under the same laws. But the reasons that they don't is because it works the opposite for them. It works in their favor. Like people will see that game or they'll see clips
And then they'll want it.
and they'll be like, oh man, I'm gonna go get that myself. The music isn't the same. Like they're only getting
can you imagine if the gaming industry actually did go through with that?
Oh yeah.
Like
You
that
wouldn't be able
you,
to-
You would cripple the streaming industry.
Absolutely.
They would honestly. I think they would cripple themselves in reality.
Oh, they would. It would be like it would cripple the game industry as a whole, like streaming and like for the publisher. Like it would just be like you would do that, no one would get your shit, and then like no one would be able to stream your shit, so Twitch would fall apart. If every developer did that or every publisher did that, it would be fucking insane. Because it's just like then you're just relying on like what the publisher says for the game. And there's even been there like for Cyberpunk. There was even they did that.
Yeah, they had a couple of songs that were DMCA.
The gameplay.
Oh really?
Yeah, before the launch, like
Before the launch. Okay.
they had them. They were DMCA striking people that were showing the gameplay,
Yeah, people will. Yeah.
and it
People
was
do that.
like, a thing that publishers don't ever do, and it was really crazy that CD Projekt Red did it, because it was like, why don't you want people to see your game? As we figured out later, why they didn't want people to see it.
that reason. But if it's before a launch, they don't want it to go out before.
So
they
their term, like when it came to their, for the review cycle of the game, they only gave PC players a review code, and they didn't give any to consoles. So they knew that it wasn't going to work well on consoles, and then they told the PC players, you can't show much of anything of the game for the review. So a lot of guys were doing their reviews like, I'm not allowed to show you anything, which they said that like I don't understand why. This is the only time I've ever seen this happen, where a publisher's like, you can't show the gameplay for your review. You could talk about it, but you can't show it. It's like, why?
That defeats
And then
the
they played
purpose
it.
of streaming.
People were playing it, and then they understood why. And then people were talking about the issues, and then they were getting DMCA strikes by CD Projekt Red. So, and then when the game did come out, people that were showing the fucking console gameplay were getting DMCA struck too. Like, because people did have some people got their hands on the game early,
Yeah.
and like Walmart fucked that up apparently because they ended up releasing the console versions early, and people were showing the console version and getting DMCA struck by CD Projekt Red, even though, and they were showing they're like, there's issues with this, serious ones, and then
If they knew that thing, why were they being struck with something like that when they knew their game was so bad on the consoles?
They didn't want people to know because it would like
It still crippled them.
it did.
Well, yeah.
It did. Like it was like they were just trying to do damage control and it
Yeah,
failed.
they're trying to stop the spread as much as possible.
So, okay, let's see. Twitch began to take some shots amid its boom in popularity. Record labels could pursue legal action and be taken against the platform, as its streamers weren't following the Digital Millennium Copyright Act of 1998.
Which needs updated significantly.
Yeah, it does. This meant that streamers were open to DMCA takedowns on content that featured licensed music, leading to many deleting classic VODs and wiping their channels clean of any potential mishaps. Though going forward, things could be set to change. As revealed by Billboard, Twitch and the NMPA are close to putting pen to paper on an already agreed upon licensing agreement. That report reveals the deal between Twitch and the NMPA could be announced as soon as the end of September, according to the source publishing industry. But regurgitates that the deal isn't going to be signed. It's still going to be signed, so nothing is binding just yet. A licensing agreement between Twitch and music labels has been in the works for years, according to Billboard's report, with Twitch frequently promising that a deal is coming soon for almost years now. Soon, quote unquote. If the licensing agreement is to go ahead, it could be a huge turning point for the platform, as streamers would no longer be constantly paranoid about strict DMCA guidelines. We could soon see the return of streamers listening to a variety of music rather than hear the same non-copyright beats that we've heard echo across the platform in recent times.
So true.
So this isn't so much of the fact that they're trying to say they got copyright issues. It's more of along the lines that you're playing a song that we're wanting to get more views or plays on our apps for like Spotify and things like that.
No,
Or is it more of the copyright thing that you're
it's
playing?
a copyright thing.
So can't they just do the loophole where it's like, I don't own the rights to these songs
No.
while it's being played?
Because
No.
they're still violating it.
This will change a lot of things for playing music on stream, and I remember this. when Metallica went on Twitch to stream a show, and they got DMCA'd for their own music.
Well, that's the thing.
It was it was funny. It was hilarious. That their whole stream got muted, and Twitch had to play generic non-copyright music over their show.
It's never the artist. The artist almost always
label.
wants you to play them.
It's the label.
Yeah.
It's the label because they're the ones that own the rights. That's why a lot of music artists like T-Pain has actually come out because he's big enough now. He said that all of his future music after like a certain time frame,
It's gonna be his own.
because he owns it. He owns the masters and the production rights.
Right.
He said, "You can play it. I don't give a fuck. You can play it on Twitch.
Because it's good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he also streams on Twitch.
Yeah,
But he's
does.
like anything before a certain time frame, like his Buy Me a Drink and all that stuff. It's owned by the record labels and it's under copyright, so you can't play that stuff. Because it's never the video I'm telling you with Devin Nash. He had the Pebble Rock. I think it was Pebble Rock. It's like a non-copyrighted music platform for Twitch that you can stream music on, and they do. They get artists to be able to play that give them the rights to their music, and then they can play, and people will use it, and it's not copyrightable. And they're super huge. But he's formerly in the industry from music, and he broke down a lot of the shit and like why it's such an issue.
I hate it.
It's like an hour-long video, but it's really in-depth and very informative, and it makes a lot of sense. But the reason it's because the DMCA law is super fucking vague. But it was also not written in a time where these type of capabilities were a thing. Like, streaming wasn't a thing. The internet was barely even a thing
Right.
at all.
Yeah. Especially in 1998.
Yeah, YouTube wasn't a thing. Like,
Their
none of
biggest
that.
thing was just their movies, the
Yeah.
copyright for movies and trying to sell them.
And that was the main thing. So but it's so vague and broad that it still technically applies to all this stuff and it's able to be enforced, but it needs updated to be able to include this. And the guy in that video actually kind of goes over a way that it could be worded and changed to where it would be effective and it would work for all parties, honestly.
Yeah.
I think Harris Heller actually had it. He had broken it down to where it would work as well. Because he's one of the main ones that people will use his stuff that they use on their streams. He creates stream beats,
Right.
which are labeled as copyright free, but in reality, he actually owns all of the copyright for that. Technically, he could copyright claim everybody that plays his stuff.
But he's allowing them to do
Yeah,
it without
but
the hassle.
he's like, I'm doing this to counteract that shit so you can play this stuff.
Yeah.
So, and in the long run, it's actually more beneficial for him.
Right.
'Cause it's like it's more money and everything like that. Oh, here we go. Are we doing this?
You ready?
I can already see part of it. This doesn't look like it's going to be very fun.
No, it's not going to be anything that you
Want to see. Like, it always starts off so great, doesn't it?
All
Like,
right.
This is the best part.
Just like
here
the
we
beginning
go.
of the other one.
I know, it looks so good. All right. It's a little weird, but we can't show this. We're sorry, but
Why is it buffering?
your internet sucks.
No, it doesn't, though. Here. I wonder if...
LuxureTV.com.
Stop telling people what the site is. You really want them to go find that?
Yes. Yes, I do. What did I tell you to Google?
I don't know, but
Art
I
of Zoo.
I already did it.
I did not.
I saw the TikTok video. I'm like,
And then the one TikTok where it's the fletching. I don't
Felching?
Even, yeah, felching. I don't even want to know
Actually,
what that is.
don't know
I
what-
never looked
I
that
don't know
up.
that
it's
one.
when you suck cum out of a butthole. Another man's butthole.
Fantastic. Now I know
Why does it have to be another dude?
because
know.
that's just the term for it.
Women get anal too.
I'm really trying to find this video. Like, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time this time.
Was that the same site that you went to
No.
last time?
No.
Oh.
Let's see.
I feel like you favorited a link or
See,
something.
one girl, one corn.
One girl, one cob. Oh, we still got the regiment stories after this too.
I know we do. I mean, we're only 2 hours in. All right, fuck
It's
it.
not terrible.
Yeah.
So
definitely
you're
looks
an
like-
MP, not a corpsman, so I can't really get your medical advice on this. But I mean, him being a corpsman,
It, yeah.
Like it just starts off so well. Like
does start off
I'm
well.
totally cool with this. This is good. I'm good, and here we go.
Here we go.
Alrighty.
And like, what is her?
That
diet?
is just-
like, what is her diet though?
She must be a vegan. That's healthy.
Is it? I don't.
I mean, I'm guessing,
Let's
Maybe
pause and
she's-
let it load a little more.
Maybe she's constipated,
and it's just
and this is helping. Yeah,
she
maybe
is so
this
sweet.
Is,
I am hungry. Look at these comments. Was für ein geiler Affection. Unter. What's it say?
Can we get a translation?
Of
please?
course, this is all in a different language.
Notice how it's German.
Yeah,
I've always said the Germans are weird when it comes to this shit.
I've heard some pretty hardcore stuff that is.
In Germany,
Yeah.
and it's not. It's all right. It's all correct.
And look how caked onto the cob it is, though.
Like where, as Nelson said, like where does she find more shit? Like how does she keep going?
Well,
I
mean,
don't
she
get it
hasn't
either.
Really shit that much right here. This isn't terrible. I can see why she covered her face too. I wouldn't want my face in this.
No.
either.
No, she like you definitely want to wear a mask for this.
Yeah,
one.
Like you don't need your image. That's just
and we're
that's
using.
just infection.
Yeah.
Do you think it burns when she pees after this?
Oh, for a very long time. It
I
probably
think
burns as she's doing that.
I think it burns when she thinks of peeing after this.
I feel like that this is just because this is like cut up.
That's a pH balance nightmare.
So this video is actually cut up, so I don't think all the good parts are going to be in it.
Where did
why-
you get
why
it
did I-
before?
I don't know. I can't find the site. Oh God, it looks horrifying.
That definitely seems to be an act that is over somewhere else, not here.
It's not in America at all.
No.
No, it's not.
We just do weird shit. Did she just pee all over?
Yeah, she did. She peed.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was urine playing here. Oh yeah, that looks scrumptious.
Yeah, they did skip out the other part. Hang on.
Boo.
I got the part that always gets me. It wasn't in there.
Yep,
That
so we're-
wasn't it?
Nope.
Where you stopped
Yep.
wasn't it?
You're not done yet.
No, it actually gets a lot worse. Oh, here we
You're
go.
getting the.
this. Here we go.
the
I found
kid-friendly
it.
version.
HeavyR.com. This is the one.
I could have told you that. I've been there before.
HeavyR.
I've never
I
heard
don't
of
know
it.
what.
They have regular porn there.
I've never heard of that.
I've been.
All right.
I've
so
been deployed. So. you get creative.
What, the other sites
is also
just don't
before-
do it for you while
this
you're
is-
over there?
Well, this was before the YouPorn had an app and everything like that.
They have an app?
Yeah.
Well, they're getting creative.
chocolate souffle.
The Zupa play. Get your ad out of here. Fuck out of here. Fuck off.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna close that ad.
I don't think we can.
There's another video that you
ju-
haven't
she's
seen.
really trying.
Yeah, she is.
Maybe she's constipated. That pad is really doing no.
Oh, here we go.
Is that a giant clump?
I like.
What is that? Is that all one clump?
Can you tell if she's already had corn in the diet other than what she's using it?
Either way, it's going in the same way. It's going to come out. Quite literally.
Are we about to?
I'm concerned for those sheets. All right. Okay, what is she?
I have
Why
a
is
really
it so
bad.
I thought it was solid for a second.
I have
like,
Hang
a
on,
very
hang
bad
on.
feeling about this.
Hang on. I feel like I skipped over some of it too.
I don't think you did.
No, I
No.
didn't. I didn't.
Nope.
Here we go. Yeah, this is the part that fucking gets me.
Yeah.
That went a different direction than I was thinking, but it's
Oh
no better.
God.
It went out, and she's like, no. It needs to go back in.
See, that's what I was thinking, but it was not. It's not going in the same way I thought it was going to go in.
E. coli.
Not when it's your own.
That's no, that's not how that works.
That's just.
Oh my
I
God.
find, like the fact. Oh, then she's. Oh, this is where she starts biting it. Okay, she's like, no, I've had enough sucking on it. I'm just gonna.
bite into
Now I'm actually hungry. Now,
This has made me hungry.
even though none of that is gonna be digested. Quite literally. What a waste.
She's giving a preview. What's going to look like again?
What a waste.
I feel like just us talking.
Ah,
I feel like us just talking about it. People don't need to see it.
no. There's poop all over the corn cob. And she's eating it. That's all you need to know.
HeavyR.com, and the
That's
title is
enough.
a shitty mess.
Yeah. It's just like,
And
again,
she goes,
and we're back at it.
and we're back at it.
And she's
Yeah.
like,
It's look how spread out it is. It's like she.
this
just,
is Nelson was saying this is psychosis. This
She's-
is straight psychosis.
look at. Oh yeah, she's like let's paint a picture.
She is really trying.
She's like, I'm too white. Let's change.
So much fun. So much fun.
You missed.
I thought there was another chick in this.
She literally prolapsed her butthole.
When 2 holes wasn't enough, let's make
All
it
right, let's
third.
go to the comment section.
And see how many are in German.
Yummy. That shitty pussy needs to be eaten and fucked. I've never craved corn so much before. Natural born porn star, beautiful asshole, pussy on body. Love her hair and nails. Just a slut, a slurpable piece of fuck meat.
What is happening?
I don't know.
I
This
think
is one of the clips from YMH5.
What?
It's your mom's house, Tom Segura.
Oh, that's.
I found
funny.
this video before he did. So when they were watching, I'm like, I know exactly what they're watching. so I showed people this video before he caught on to it. So this is one of those clips from the YMH5 559 for any of you chomos are looking. Proto, thanks for following Proto and notifying the public. I like to see Brent Crystals try and clean this up with one finger. Now it's turning into your mom's house jokes, and I love it. Okay, so let's go to. There's another one that I want to show you.
I showed him the part when
All right.
you kept hitting the scene button, and it would go right to the moment where that couple would fall.
Oh, yeah. And the guy was behind the car.
Oh, hang on.
Just hit the scene.
Stop hitting the thing, man. Damn it, dude. You fucking. Oops.
Is it more shit?
Hang on.
How much shit was that? I wonder if it got on the sheets. That just sounds like a laundry nightmare. She had the
Oh,
right.
no.
Chuck's pad down. I don't think it did anything. Here we go.
Don't come inside of me. Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, just accept it.
All right, first things first. I got to get the video audio up here because it's not going through that. All right.
Did the other one have audio?
Yeah, I just didn't have it. I didn't realize, like, well, why is there no audio?
Boo.
Hello. Today we're going to make French-Canadian poutine fries.
Poutine.
What are poutine
This guy
fries?
is so cool.
Fries are basically
Isn't he?
fries, cheese, and a great appetite. So basically, here is French-Canadian Quebec poutine.
All right, for those, so I can show this part because there's nothing explicit.
There's nipples.
It's a
That
guy,
almost looks like a. Those look like.
but it's a guy.
But
those
they
look
look like
woman
titties.
tits.
So this is, I'll give you an
Let's
example.
not
Of,
assume genders here, okay? All right.
let's give you an example of what we're exactly looking at here. So,
I'm still trying to figure it out, actually.
So this is what the guy looks like. He's super cool.
Is he?
Yeah, he's got the fucking bra tattoo on him. I don't know what.
That's a tattoo?
Yeah.
This is
that's
all
a
tattoo.
whole tattoo.
This guy actually, since then, has gotten the word pig tattooed on his forehead. So yeah,
You keep up with this guy?
Yeah, do you follow his
I
content?
watch a lot of podcasts that also keep up with this guy. So yes.
Oh, no.
All right, let's continue.
Fries. However, there's going to be a bit of a change to the recipe. Everybody likes to change the recipe up.
I don't want to
Do
change
we?
the recipe.
I want to change your tattoo. That's what we need to change.
Pig shit and pig piss.
Pig shit and pig piss.
Going to be a treat. Come on, let's get some
He's way too excited for
He's
this.
from Canada, by the way.
Let's not insult Canadians like
no.
this.
No. No.
melted cheese here.
Melted
And that's in a
cheese.
dog bowl.
Things happening. Yes, they on the fries.
We can't put this on YouTube.
I'm not what this fit. This is not. This is showing us.
Oh, okay.
So is he the pig in this? Is that
Is
Yes.
is that what I'm
He
getting
calls
at?
his name is Norman Somerton, and he's also known as Pig Slut.
Is he squeezing the piss out of himself?
No. So if you notice, he's got a cage around his dick.
Yeah.
That's a sounding cage. You know what
That's
sounding is?
sounding cage?
You know what sounding is?
No, I don't.
No.
Sounding is when you have a rod go right up your pee hole.
Oh my god. Why
Uh-huh.
is it called? That's a terrible term.
Well, you
That's
make
just
a
what-
sound
that's
when
the
it goes
term.
up, probably.
That's
That's the
misleading.
term. It's called sounding.
It's very
So he's
misleading.
got this cage around his junk,
Here, no.
and then there's a rod that goes into his pee hole, and he's peeing out of it. And the cage is designed to keep you from getting hard without it hurting. So if you start to get hard, it's like a fucking domination thing, because he's got a mistress that like makes him do this shit.
All right.
So
Brandon, have you seen this yet?
No, I haven't seen this one.
this is new for both of you.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think.
Yay.
You guys are having this experience together.
All I'm thinking is just this. I don't like soggy fries. Right.
It's about to get. Let me tell you something. It's about to get more soggy.
That's your issue with this?
I mean, that's
Soggy fries?
That's my main issue right now. I don't like soggy fries.
Dear Lord. I don't even want to keep watching.
You're gonna.
Why? That's not where I thought that was coming from. I was. No. Why is his asshole so high though?
Oh my! I think I think him and that girl have the same health diet there.
I was like, his ass isn't on there enough.
And he's gonna pour cheese all over it.
Why was his asshole so high though?
Oh God! I will never be able to unsee this.
Nope, I'm gonna show you so many things.
What's the recipe? That's what we're asking.
Fries, cheese, pig shit, and pig piss.
That was not pig shit. That was his shit.
He's the pig.
He's the pig.
See, that's misleading.
He calls himself pig. This is a
Is it?
feast.
Chili beans.
French Canadian feast. Don't insult the French like that. The amount of disrespect to
That's
these
just
fries.
homemade chili.
Oh, it's homemade, all right.
You want to try me for some, don't you?
He's
He is
excited.
so into this.
He's just, oh. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
He's-
Now, you as working in a clinic, like when people do shit like this, what's up with them? Why are they into this? Here we go.
There's so many. So it kind of falls along the lines of like the Pika. I can't remember the full. I don't know how to pronounce
Pika.
that's a shortened version of it. But like people that eat hair, and people that eat dirt, and everything like that. They eat things that they're not supposed to eat. It's along those lines.
Oh, the same with like the torn up mattress pieces.
Yeah.
Like the stuffing.
Yeah. It's in that category.
Because along the lines, it's more of your body's craving nutrients that it's not getting, and that's why they crave those
Kind of like
things.
how dogs do, you mean?
No, that's totally separate.
Well, dogs eat shit when they're craving nutrients.
No, these people aren't getting this. It's a psychological thing. So there's something wrong in the head, and I haven't had to, because I'm in the military aspect. That's one of the areas of psych that I haven't gotten to dive super into, because I haven't really experienced it other than studying.
All right, I want to show you
The basics of
another cool thing. So
Cool thing, yes.
I know this guy.
You know this guy?
Not personally. I know he puts out. So this guy, I'll show you I'll show you real quick where he's in.
Is he covered in shit? Is that an asshole?
Oh come on, fucking.
Your
Skip.
stepsis is gonna make you beg for it.
I didn't mean to. have this ad here.
No, that's Elsa.
I said that the last time. All right, this guy's inside of a septic tank,
What is he with?
a gimp suit,
A what?
a gimp suit.
Why do you know the term?
Don't ask.
Don't ask questions.
He's wearing a gimp suit and swimming around in a septic tank.
What if you found this guy in your septic tank?
Close the lid and bolt it up and leave him in there.
Now, this guy, I've seen his ads before. I've known about this guy.
Who's letting this man get ass?
So this guy, he'll
Who's
go to
paying him?
people and he will
What site
pay
are you
them
finding
like
these on?
several $100s for like an hour. So he'll pay people like several $100s an hour to go into their shit tank with a camera and swim around in it.
You've mentioned him before.
Yes. So this guy actually pays people to let him do this. Now this guy's like, I'll give you $500 if you let me swim in your shit tank for a half hour and film myself doing it.
How about it, bro?
Hey, the entrance is over there. Go find it.
Yeah, just don't come back to my door.
No.
Just give me the money up front, man.
Yeah.
I don't want it after.
Nope.
I wouldn't even trust his money. I would be like, I'm gonna need that transferred to my account now.
Look at him.
Venmo
He just
me?
fucking dives into it. The smell, like, that shit's been sitting in there for
It's
and
gotta
he
be-
just rubs his eyes. Yes.
That's pink eye.
The worst
waiting to
part
happen.
is this isn't his shit, so he is going to get.
Sick.
He's got to get something off.
I don't know. The immune system that this man probably has at this point.
At this point, yeah.
He's who
If
we
this
should be
is-
experimenting with. We should be taking his
Ew.
antibodies. That's his blood is what I want my vaccine to have. Because
No.
this man is clearly immune to everything.
Absolutely not.
You think he's got to worry about COVID?
No.
No,
He ain't worried.
He's good. He's good.
COVID goes into his body and gets fucking destroyed.
What the fuck is that in his hand?
COVID's got to get antibodies against him.
That's probably pretty true.
That's
I'm gonna wear that like a hat. It's like just whatever fucking he found in there.
I bet it was a wet wipe.
and they
Because
say
wet wipes
that's-
don't really.
My God,
He's just
My
having
eyes
the time of his
burn.
life.
my eyes just are on fire from that.
And how long is this video?
It's like a minute and something.
Oh,
It just makes me think of all the. I love when the recruits will come in on the weekends and they'll have pink eye because we got to do eye
What
chart
is
tests
that?
on them. And I'm like, have you guys been touching? You know how they tell you not to touch your face, right?
yeah.
I'm always like, have you guys been
fuck
touching
is
your
this?
face? Nobody, officer. I'm like, oh, we just got a fucking pink eye fairy going around boot camp and giving y'all.
This is
pink
my
eye.
dream, except
Yeah.
I'd be naked. I love to feel all the beautiful, tasty shit covering me. Open my mouth and gulp it down. Ugh.
Ugh.
It's like
That's
a
the
it's like a
worst.
smoothie. It's like a shit smoothie. In other words, diarrhea in a cup.
People are strange.
That's the
People
lesser
are
term.
strange when you're a stranger. Ew. Ew. Let's see. What else can I find for you fuckers?
Good lord.
Let's see. What's in the categories section? Nelson was like, you might want to clean your browser history. And I'm like, dude,
Yeah, we're already on a list.
I'm 100% on a list. There's no way I'm not.
Think of what your FBI agent's thinking right now. He's like, please stop it, please.
My FBI agent's like, spare me! Please!
He's gonna go to his boss later and like, you know what?
I
I want to
quit.
raise or I quit.
I quit.
Like transfer me. I want transfer. Today.
Where's the newbies? Let the newbies do this.
I want to transfer.
There's just a whole bunch of that shit. Sorry, computer, you're gonna get a virus, chief.
I can only imagine the amount.
Of malware.
Well, no, the new ads that you're gonna start seeing.
Your local store's got corn on the cob.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna start seeing like new grocery ads. Do you need a new septic tank?
Stuff like that is stuff that I will never show Alicia. She already knows about the dark side of me when it
Men's
comes to
flushable
like the
wipes.
things that I find funny. These kinds of things are things that I will never show her because I know she can't really handle that like I can.
All
and
she has to do is watch the podcast.
It's
doesn't-
not on there.
She sees the reaction. She doesn't see what I'm showing.
I guess.
And even just me, like when I was editing with the Nelson episode, when I was gagging, like that was enough. She's like, "Please put headphones on," because it was just constantly like that. It was that. Did I ever show you my old YouTube videos?
I think so.
No, like from 2009.
Yeah,
Me reacting to Two Girls, One Cup.
oh no.
Oh no.
Here, let me see if I can.
You know, they made a funny parody of that. It was Two Guys, One Bowl or something like that.
2 guys, 1 cone.
Yeah, Two Guys, One Cone. It was a parody, and it was thankfully with
was-
actually ice cream.
Yeah, I've actually tried to find that video, and I cannot find it.
I
can't
think
find
they
it
use the same
whatsoever.
music, don't they?
They did.
All right, let's see.
They absolutely did. Well, hello there. We have a new guest.
Hello.
Hello, Governor.
I'm just showing them some poop.
And eating of.
Hey, everyone. My brother's here. Come here.
I thought you went to Canada.
I did. I did go to Canada.
Say hi to everybody.
Do you speak English?
Oh no. Huh?
Do you speak English?
Yeah, apparently I speak English.
So my brother had to go
Well enough to pass.
my brother had to go to Chicago today to discuss to like take a immigrations test.
Language, no, I had to take a
Talking to this.
I had to take a test.
Talk into this.
I had to take a test in English to see if I'm good at English. And
What did you find?
I won't know for 13 days.
How would you assess yourself off of what you think so far?
Well, seeing as I didn't go there talking like this, I went there, kind of,
Speaking Spanish?
kind of.
Oh, Canada!
Talking like this, So yeah, no, I don't know. I imagine I did pretty good. Seeing as
How
I'm
was
speaking
so?
English.
Obviously, they would give you like grammar tests and shit, or was it just like?
I was like, listen to this and read this, and fill in the blanks. But like, you're not listening for verbatim. It's like, interpret this.
You got to play ad lib for an hour?
Pretty much. Well, that and then writing. I had to write like paragraphs and shit. It was, and then I had to talk to a guy face to face.
I'm sure that guy was like, I don't know why you're doing this.
No, he knew why I was doing it. He was like, yeah, I was a Russian linguist for the army in Kosovo for like 5 years.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's like, I know why you're doing this.
to get out of the country.
Yeah.
I'm escaping to go to another country.
To go to Canada.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna show video.
Here I come.
Oh, Canada.
All right, this is me in 09.
Watching,
I can never unsee this.
Turned it on and is now pouring it into a cup.
What's with the soul patch? I can't unsee
That's all I
that.
could grow at the time.
Is that Mike?
Yeah.
What the fuck? It looks like beer, kind of.
I sound like you.
It's
No.
diarrhea.
Alicia even says that it sounds like you.
How old were you at this time?
That looks like she's enjoying it.
He was in middle school.
2009.
It's neither, dude. It's like a quarter of the way there. She's still
Oh, wow.
enjoying.
We were juniors.
Yeah, we were almost graduated.
So for context, in this video, it's called Tap Chick. So
Okay. I would say it doesn't sound like cupcakes.
Mm-hmm.
it's not. It's Tap Chick. So they put a water faucet in this chick's ass, and they turn the faucet on, and they have a glass under it, and it's filling it up with diarrhea water, and then they feed it to her.
Oh, okay. So this is not the same as. I was wondering
Mike's
too,
getting
'cause
into
the
it.
music is different.
She's crying.
And she was crying this entire time.
No!
That sounds painful.
Please don't. I'll give you $1. I'll give you $1.
I'd say Mike lost a lot of weight.
He's like, come on.
Thanks,
Oh
man.
my God. Oh my God.
Dude, you look like such a baby.
You do the same thing.
I mean, I was 20.
You look like
You
such a
look
fucking
like-
idiot.
This is when
You're
Katrina. You know, this is when
13.
Katrina left. This is like two. No, I'm saying this is how long ago this was.
I know when 2009 was.
This was like a long.
Yeah, it was in 2009.
Yeah,
It was damn.
approximately 2009.
I almost throw up in this video.
Cool milkshake of her own shit. No more.
Hang on, right here is when I get. I almost throw up.
It is in one hole and the other hole.
Oh, that. Yeah, you were so close.
I almost spewed right there. That would have been great, wouldn't it?
I like these shirts, by the way.
These are the jerseys.
I like these shirts.
Yeah, thanks, man.
All right, incest is not a thing in Wisconsin. All right.
It's only incest when you're actually
Yeah,
brothers.
no, we're okay. We're good. That's
Are
legal.
you guys brothers?
No.
No.
We just grew up together.
What's your name?
Sean.
Sean. Awesome. Good to meet
He's also
Nice
a
to meet
squid.
you. What?
He's also
I didn't.
He's also what?
a squid. He's an
He's
MP.
actual squid.
He's an MP.
So are you.
He's a cop.
No, I'm a corpsman. That's
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a cop in our midst.
by definition, yeah.
Does your like your uniform does it say U.S. Navy?
Technically.
Then you're in the Navy.
Yeah, but you're in the National Guard.
Yeah, but you're
We're not playing this fucking game again. We're not fucking doing this again.
It's
You're
all,
in the
it-
National Guard. Shut the fuck up.
Hey, I didn't. Hey, that's all him.
I'm just saying. Name tape says Navy.
It does.
That means Navy.
Yeah, you're actually.
You know, we were also thinking back, like if we could go back and join, we would have just joined the Space Force.
Dude, I'm not kidding. I thought about just saying fuck it and joining the Space Force.
You should have just done it. Go to space.
I'm not in the
Fuck
Air
this
Force.
planet. It's over with.
They take other ones now.
They take everybody.
I'm not
It's open now.
interested. I'll just go join the Canadian Army.
So we got regiment stories.
They do. I sent it to you. No,
Alright.
yeah, I sent it to you.
You guys have fun. playing
Thanks,
Tiddlywinks.
buddy.
We'll play with your tiddlywinks later.
I will-
You sent me the photo on Discord, right?
Yeah, and I sent you the story on your phone.
Where's your girlfriend?
Is she not upstairs?
She should be upstairs. Here, I'll send you the story too.
Yeah, she should be upstairs. Now, I've got the story. I just need the photo.
Well, I know, but you're not gonna put it up for people to see.
Wait, why won't it let me? That's weird. That's suspicious. I just got another notification. Says not enough USB port resources when I open up Discord.
Really?
Yeah.
After you already have everything set up.
Yes.
Did I delete the picture already? No, I did not.
No.
While
All right.
while you guys are trying to set that up.
All right. So we're gonna have. What, you got a piss?
Yeah.
All right. It's right there.
Yeah,
So-
I sent you the screenshot and story.
I know. I got it. I'm pulling it up now.
No, of the story, so you can pull it up on here.
Oh yes. Okay. You sent me the on Discord. You sent that.
Yeah, that way everyone else can follow along. And then I got.
Jesus. Why is it so small,
That's what she said.
dude? It's really tiny on my fucking.
Click on it.
I did.
Click on Open Original. There you go.
All right, cool. There we go. Got it. All right, let's read it. So this is from Deadly Mates. Let's zoom in here. So this story isn't too crazy, but it was pretty wild when it happened. I'm a 15 Yankee Apache Armament Electronics and Avionics Systems Repairer. I was deployed in Afghanistan straight out of AIT in 2014 and spent 6 months in Fob Shank. I know where that is. Towards the end of a deployment, there was an attachment from Germany that came to plus up our numbers. 2 of their pilots were flying one of our aircraft and stopped at the FARP, Forward Arming Refuel Point, to get gas and ammo. As they were leaving the FARP, they rolled the aircraft over on its side. Their story was that they caught a bad tailwind, and the tail wheel clipped the ground, causing the aircraft to roll over. What we really think happened was that they overloaded the aircraft with ammo, which they were notorious for doing, and didn't really account for all the extra weight. I have a few pictures of the aftermath, and it was absolutely gnarly. Pilots had a few bumps and bruises, but were fine. The aircraft was totaled. Now, I saw the fucking photo of this aircraft,
And we'll show you in just a second here.
and it is fucking crazy. Because I'm like, how did no one get fucked up in this?
Like,
So
look at
here's
this shit.
here's the photo of this aircraft.
This is
I don't understand how no one died.
or got seriously maimed.
Because this aircraft is on its side. This is an Apache. So it's on its side, and there's the fucking doors to get out. I don't, and look at these fucking windows all smashed to shit. How did no one get fucked up on that?
Everybody survived that?
Absolute
That's luck.
luck.
Yeah, usually when an aircraft flips over like that, no one lives.
No.
No
Now when
one
it looks
lives.
like that in the aftermath.
That's wild. All right, what's the other story that you have?
Let me.
Did Too Old send anything?
He did. So here I'll screenshot and send it to you here. So he sent an A school story. Here we go. That's not what I wanted. Sending this to you. That's not you. Abrams sent one too.
All right, so we got 2 more, huh?
Yeah, we do.
You sending them to me?
Yep.
There we
Just
go.
sent right now.
So Too Old, my boy Too Old. What's going on, buddy? Let's read this. Damn, that thing is fucking big. All right, let's So back in A school, there was a kid that headed out for a few cold ones by himself. Came back all beat up and crying. We asked him what happened. Apparently, he had decided to run his mouth to a Marine in a local bar. I was Navy. This action didn't end well for my young friend. As he relayed his side of the event through his tears, he ended it with this statement: "I hate Marines." Sniff, sniff. They teach them to kill people. Sniff, sniff. And they teach us to fold our underwear. Sob. The conversation ended there because we were all laughing too hard to continue.
So he just hates the Marines because he got his ass beat.
Exactly. Like, he's just like, I don't like Marines. They beat me up. Pussy.
That's what happens when you run your mouth.
Yeah, talk shit, get hit.
Exactly.
That's the fucking standard. You talk shit, you get hit.
Yep.
I like how that one was short and sweet. So Abrams has got to type his out.
Oh, he's still typing it up right now?
Yeah. It's going to be a long one. So
Is it? So we should probably save that for another one.
Yeah, we'll save that one.
Yeah, don't talk shit. That actually reminds me of a time where, so overseas, when you go off base, you're not allowed to go to the bars by yourself.
Right.
And it's more of like a safety concern.
Yeah.
Have a battle buddy.
Well, overseas, it's like you really shouldn't go out by yourself because the Moroccans were notorious for drugging and robbing soldiers.
Is that the thing?
No, Morocco, like from Morocco.
Okay, gotcha.
So they were notorious for beating, drugging, and robbing American soldiers.
Did they rape them too?
No,
Wow.
no. So this dude goes out to a bar by himself. He also doesn't go into this. He's in a neighboring city. He's not even in Vicenza. He goes out and goes out drinking, and then he meets up. These Moroccans were there, and they gave him a drink, and he took it because he's stupid. And then he wakes up in a field with his pants, shoes, hoodie, and everything else, wallet and phone, all of it gone. So this dude had no way of calling for help in a foreign country, had no money, had no shoes, no pants. He was literally in his boxers and T-shirt, and it's, by the way, February in Italy.
Oh, so it's
Is
cold.
it
It's
cold out
not
there?
super cold, but it's like how fall is here, like late fall in the wintertime.
Mm.
So he had to walk back to base from wherever he was with no shoes on. So his feet got all sliced the fuck up. And he ended up getting a field grade Article 15, and he got in trouble for it because it was his fault.
Yeah.
So he got put on extra duty, 30 days post restriction, got an Article 15, and lost his rank, reduced pay,
Go with mask.
all that
Yeah.
shit because he did that. Like, because he's a fucking moron.
So on top of being all his stuff being stolen,
He got in trouble.
Slapped with even
He
more.
got in trouble at the unit level because he's an idiot.
Wow.
I mean, he's still fucked up.
yeah.
He did.
Without a doubt.
Like they tell you don't go out without somebody because shit like that happens so frequently.
And if you do, don't accept random drinks.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Some of these dudes are just dumb, dude.
No, I was thinking-
They're just dumb.
You could have been raped.
In
You
the
could have been
butt.
raped in the ass.
Dude, our fucking commander used to like
MySpace.
My old battalion commander used to have this thing when ISIS started growing. He came into command, and one of the first things he did was like, we're gonna reduce the waste in this unit. Like, we're gonna like material wise. So we cleaned out all of the fucking motor pool, every connex, every storage every storage cage that we had in the motor pool. We took out everything. And got rid of apparently like 50 grand worth of fucking just excess equipment that was just being left laying around and
Right.
outdated. So one of his other big things was that he was all about the barracks and the motor pool being absolutely spotless at all times. And because it wasn't to his standard, he had a battalion formation, families involved too, cameras. He brought us all into this basketball court in the gym to tell us that, you know, we need to really tighten it up as a unit here because, and he looked
Suck
at the
my
camera
unit.
guy, he said, turn the cameras off. There's an enemy out there named ISIS, and they're going to cut your fucking heads off, and they're going to show it to your friends, and they're going to show it to your families. And the families were there listening to this guy say this. And all because the barracks weren't to his standards, ISIS is going to cut your fucking head off. And it ended up becoming a running joke because him saying this is like, oh, and we were all like, oh, you better make sure that your fucking your beret is on right, or you're fucking not walking around with your hands in your pockets because ISIS is gonna cut your fucking head off. And it was the dumbest thing ever. Like, he ended up getting a GOMAR, General Order of Reprimand, from the Pentagon
Really?
because he did an unauthorized airborne operation in Poland, and the guys were using Polish parachutes, Polish aircraft, Polish jump masters, and the Army was like, you don't have authorization for that. And it was all just to earn Polish jump wings, because we did that a lot. We did wing exchanges. So you can earn foreign jump wings on top of your jump wings. Like me, I have Greek wings. They're on that plaque. Those wings down at the bottom, those are my Greek jump wings.
Well, that's actually pretty cool.
So, like, in an airborne unit, especially when you're overseas, like, you can jump with other NATO countries and earn their jump wings. But there's, like, like, you got to get approval to do it.
Right.
He didn't have Army approval to do it. And this 2-star general calls him and says, hey, Colonel, you don't have authorization to do that. You need to scratch that jump. He's like, oh, I'm going to tunnel, sir. I can't hear you. Hangs up on the guy.
We're going through a tunnel.
Hands the phone over to the RTO, the radio operator for him, and said, fuck that guy. Did the jump, and then an E7 shattered his pelvis on that jump.
Is that the video we saw?
No,
Oh.
no. So the 2-star, after we come back from Poland, shows up to Italy from the Pentagon. He flew directly to Vicenza, Italy from D.C. to personally hand this guy his General Order of Reprimand.
I don't know who
I'd-
I like more, the 2-star or the guy be like, fuck that
I'd
guy.
do-
No, that guy was like, oh, no, fuck that guy. He was notorious for, like, his speeches always went like this. Well, I'm going to tell you now, we're not going to have fun. This is going to suck. No one's going to enjoy this, but we're going to suck together.
Fun is secured.
Every speech that he did, like, this isn't going to be fun, gentlemen. We're not going to enjoy this. We're going to work hard. There's going to be no time off. You're not going to see your families.
Embrace the suck.
But we're gonna
Yeah.
but we're gonna do it together, and it was just like the morale of the unit was just dumped.
We're supposed to be a unit.
other
Suck
thing-
my unit.
The other reason why he got a GOMAR, that just added on to it, was 'cause they found out he was taking TDY and going on vacation.
Oh,
So him and the sergeant major would go to Hawaii for weddings and shit on TDY. After they told the Army that they were going on TDY for something else, so they were taking TDY and stealing TDY
AWOL.
and going off to weddings and shit. So yeah.
Unauthorized absence.
And then they would punish us for doing, like, drinking. Even though no one got in trouble. Just because we had more than 2 beers like they said that we could have. We were in Poland, and we weren't allowed to go out. We weren't allowed to have culture day. We weren't allowed to go with the locals. We had to stay on base. We're not allowed to drink. Not allowed to be in civilians. None of this. The one culture day they gave everybody, they said, you have a curfew, and here's the time you all have to be back. It's a 2-drink limit. If you drink more than 2 drinks, you're gonna pay for it. Now, let me tell you this: the battalion and brigade staff every night would go out and get fucked up and have to be driven back by courtesy patrol each night. They were going out and telling us we couldn't, so they were off partying and we weren't allowed to.
This is
the
most
one
officer
day,
shit ever.
the one day they let us, there was an E7 who had a birthday. They all went to a strip club. Everybody drank, obviously, more than they did, but they were all back before curfew. And not a single incident, and they were all back in formation the next morning. Someone told on them. And
Snitches get stitches.
30 people were put on extra duty, to include the E7s. And anybody who was an E6 and below got a field grade Article 15 and reduction of rank.
that is so messed up.
So some E6s actually, because you can't reduce the rank of an E7 without Congress
Yeah.
or without
Yeah.
congressional approval. So, but they can put them on extra duty
Right.
and reduce their pay. They can punish them in every other way. So everybody that was an E6 and below got busted down one. On top of all that shit, and thrown extra duty was a platoon size of all guys that were doing this. And then everybody fucking flipped. One E6 went to JAG. And he ended up getting to keep his rank. So, like, then they changed it to E5s and below. Lost their rank. E6s could keep their rank. Because E6s were like, this is bullshit. I was just there. No one did anything. I didn't break the fucking rules.
Right.
Most guys didn't. We were just guilty by association. And no one got in trouble, so I don't understand why this is a fucking problem in the first place. So,
Do as I say, not as I do.
yes.
yeah.
It turned into that. And, like, And that's why, like, you had E7s just leaving the Army. They were like, I'm going to retire out of here. From going from that to I'm leaving. Fuck this.
Oh, yeah. When I was on deployment in 2017, and they would put us on shore patrol, and when we would go to the different countries, and being on shore patrol was a pain in the ass, but also hilarious, because we would go around finding because the officers got to stay out later than everybody, obviously, and we would find these fucking smashed officers. They're always the young ones, the ones that are like, 23, 24, fucking just barely graduate college, but they're like, I'm officer. I'm officer.
I learned after this unit I hate Rangers because they were all Rangers. Everybody was from Ranger Bat.
These are just boots, and like they'll give you attitude. Like, they're like,
most
do you know who I am?
most new lieutenants and new officers are fucking boots. Like, they're the worst. Like butter bar lieutenants in the Army, most of them are the worst because they come in, they're like, I outrank you, Sergeant Major, and they're like, oh, you want to die? Like, we'll bury you off in the fucking woods. I had this butter bar lieutenant in charge of me, brand new to the Army, brand new. I'd been in for at least a year more than him, and this is like his first couple months here, and because he was a lieutenant, I had to listen to him. We did land nav, and our land nav course was in Asiago, Italy, in the Alps, like in the Dolomites, which is an old World War I battleground with trenches and everything. It was a beautiful land nav site, but also the terrain was insane. Like, the land nav course had to be self-correcting because you were going to get lost, and we had to bring GPSs with us to triangulate where we were.
Yeah.
Because of how fucking crazy the terrain was.
Oh, you told me the story.
So he's like, me and my squad leader, who was an E6, we were with him doing the land nav course. It was just 3 of us, and he's like, I got to take a shit. You guys go ahead. And we weren't far from the start point. And I'm like, sir, we can wait for you. He's like, no, just go ahead. I know on my way back. Like, all you got to do is shoot the azimuth where you want to go. And at the worst, shoot an azimuth. Your panic azimuth goes right to the main road. That you follow that main road back to the start point. At the most extreme.
Right.
So we go back, like he says we could. And we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting. And we're probably, 400 meters away from the start point. We're not far. But with the terrain, it's a little bit farther.
Oh, 4 whole mics. Okay.
So it's a couple hours go by. He still doesn't show up. He doesn't come out of the woods. He's the last person we're waiting for. And we're like, fuck, we got to go find the lieutenant. We left the lieutenant alone to navigate his way back.
That's terrible.
If everyone knows, lieutenants cannot fucking navigate for shit.
No, they can't.
So
I don't know.
me and my E6 and a couple other guys were like, we got to go find him. So, like, even though we hated him and wanted him to die in those woods, like, we had to go find him. So on our way to the wood line,
You could have took your time.
he comes walking out, and he starts yelling at me. He's like, you fucking left me, Higgins. And I'm like, sir, you said to leave. He's like, I never said that. And the E6 was like, sir, I was right there. You told us both that we can walk back, and you could, because you knew where you were going, and you had to take a shit. You didn't want us to wait. So you said, go ahead, and we did. I said, you got lost on your own. And he's like, no, it's his fault, because I was a PFC at the time. It was my fault that he got lost.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm like, you fucking piece of shit. And I remember we were in Germany doing a training exercise, only the forward observers. And we all had a dinner. And everyone was like, he had this idea of like, let's all talk to each other to see how we really feel about each other.
That's
a bad
awful idea.
And then like they started from one guy, and then like everybody went around, giving them like, this is your pros, this is your cons. Then it got to the lieutenant. And then like, all right, what about you, sir? And then like one of the fucking specialists was like, I want to go first. I want to go first. And like, okay, go ahead. Thinking that, it's just going to be a fun, joking time because we were just fucking busting each other's balls. He's like, you're a piece of shit, sir. Like, you fucking you throw us all under the bus at any given notice. You only look out for yourself. So none of us trust you. None of us want to deploy with you because you're going to get us killed. He's like, I wouldn't fucking trust you with a toaster. He's like, you think I'm going to trust you if we go down range? He's like, I fucking can't stand you. Nobody in this table can. And he was like, And then it started going down the line, and almost every single person was saying the same thing. And Van Horn was also his fucking sergeant. The LT was his fire sport officer. And I wasn't attached to them. I was just there. And me and Van Horn being best friends, he looked at me. He's like, you might want to leave. And I was like, let me know how it goes. And I walked off because I'm like, and I was like, I even said, I'm like, I want to say some shit. And they're like, you're not part of this. And I'm like, oh, but I am, because he was my LT first. And they're like, no, just get out of here. And I was like, okay. And they fucking tore into this dude. He failed Ranger School several times. He's a fucking turd. Like, straight turd. Most officers. I fucking... And then that colonel I told you about, he fucking lost his kit on land nav at night in that same land nav course.
But nobody
and everybody had
nobody batted an eye.
Oh no, he made everyone go find it for him.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
at night,
of course.
Get your nods, get your white lights, go out in the woods and find my fucking kit that I took off to take a shit and left behind.
Yeah, of course.
Like, you motherfucker, dude.
I bet that's what happened when the 3-6 Marines lost those rifles, because one of them
weren't those stolen?
That's what they claim. One of them was an officer, though. Nothing.
Shocker.
Nothing happened.
That sounds no different than a chief losing his Kevlar, and everybody got called back.
Oh, chiefs are different. So chiefs might as well be fucking officers.
Yeah.
Chiefs are
Like,
probably fucking worse.
Chiefs in the Navy are way different than the chiefs in the Army.
Yeah. Like, he lost his Kevlar. They called everybody back to check theirs to make sure that nobody stole his, only because he left it sitting in a locker that he shouldn't have done.
Chiefs is a whole different type of cult, honestly.
I
No, it
guess.
definitely
Y'all
is.
chiefs are different. Like your guys' E7s are different than our E7s.
There's nothing like a naval chief.
And the
compared to
E7s
other
in the Army
branches.
are sergeant first class, so they're senior non-commissioned officers, and they're they're platoon sergeants or acting first sergeants. So they're in a position where it's like they do shit with the guys, but they have so much admin they got to deal with, and they're never really around. But when they are around, it's like the most respected rank in the Army is staff sergeant E6.
Mm. Well,
They take acting E7, and they're also squad level mostly. So they're very embedded with their guys, and they also are in a position of leadership. They're right under a senior NCO. So they have this huge workload that they always take, and most E6s are fucking like shit hot on everything they know.
that's
Like,
E5 for us.
Yep.
E5s are like basically a step up from an E4.
E5 for us is the one you're describing.
I was going to be an E6 in the National Guard, but I decided I didn't want to go to the school to fucking get the rank, so I was like, I'm done.
I mean, the Chiefs were originally like the Chiefs mess was created as that middle ground between officer and enlisted, and as that to protect the enlisted from like the top brass.
That's what the E7s are basically in the Army.
But it's turned into like a cult kind of like there are still some. There's still a lot of chiefs that are still really good, and they do embody that originality of it. But there's so much shit in the Chiefs mess that makes it like a fucking corrupted cult.
Yeah. Well, you get those in these big jobs.
Yeah.
Did you deploy?
No, never.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you joined way too late to even.
Yeah, the only time he'll get to deploy is if he gets attached to a ship. Really.
It's either that or I have to sign up for something and take some extra stuff
or like
to actually be able to get deployed. Because other than that, MAs don't get deployed.
Yeah, unless he's like
on a
on
ship.
special units or something like
Yeah.
CB, something like that.
Why did you pick that one?
Marines. He's always wanted to be an MA
Really?
Yeah.
or an MP.
I probably would have chose the same job in the Air Force, or if the Air Force, I would have done jet mechanic. But I didn't want to do it for the Navy because as much as I wanted to join the military and I didn't mind the Navy, I do not want to be on a ship.
I only ever wanted to be a combat MOS. I never wanted to be anything else.
I don't care.
I just want to be a corpsman.
I know. You want to be a...
Well, originally I wanted to do medical, and so I knew the term corpsman. I didn't have any qualms previously about like the differences.
Yeah.
So I learned that corpsmen are just better.
All right, man. So we're almost at 3 hours. So let's.
That's before
Does it
edits,
feel like that we've gone for 3 hours?
No, not really.
Everyone says that every time. Nelson was
No.
like, "Wait, how long was the first one, Nelson? Before we started?"
That was
video?
about 3 hours.
Was it 3 hours?
Yeah, I was like a little over. He was like, "No fucking way." I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah,
We have not been here
I
for
kind
3
of feel
hours.
bad because I thought this was going to start sooner. And there's a girl back at home that was waiting for me to come home so I could hang out with her tonight.
Doesn't matter.
No.
I mean, it's only
And
it's not even 5 o'clock yet.
Well, yeah, and there's an hour difference, but I don't know. It takes at least 4 hours to get back.
Well, it's
Oh,
later.
you were gonna
It's
go there.
later there. Than
Well, I
it is
wanted
here.
to start this a little earlier, but like I didn't wake up until like fucking 10:30.
And that's no big deal. But no, it doesn't seem like we've gone 3 hours into this.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's why I love these things because it's like
Yeah, this
it's
is
real conversation.
I
Yeah.
have to maintain, like, because now that we're video recording, I'm trying to keep them a bit shorter
Mhm.
because people are less prone to want to watch them if they're long. 2.5 hours seems to be.
I think
the-
they still do the same thing
sweet
to where
spot.
like they'll do it in
I don't.
segments almost.
Off of my analytics, people stop watching about an hour in.
I mean, there's Twitch.
They'll
there's
come
Twitch
back.
streamers.
Like I've also noticed if I split it in like chapters.
Yeah, that's what we got to do.
Well, I'm gonna do that with
Like
this
the
one. I
time-
didn't do it for the
time
last one
stamps?
because there wasn't really anything to timestamp.
Okay.
So there was no topics. It was just me and Mike hanging out and fucking.
I haven't
off.
gotten to it yet.
So, yeah. And then the audio plays are not doing good.
Oh yeah, I would.
The video
imagine.
plays are outperforming the audio.
Absolutely, but I mean, all those people are transferring to the video.
Yeah.
which is still fine. We're still getting those views and those listens.
Yeah.
it's just they're moving from one platform to the other.
And I'm trying to grow it. I'm trying to grow it. So
Well, I mean, it is growing because the views that we're getting. That we're
I don't
getting
have any.
now-
I'm not. I haven't had any new subs in a while. Like most, there's not a lot of new subscribers to the YouTubes.
But the views are still way higher. Like they're way better than what they were for Spotify.
Yeah, I mean the episode that you were on has 90.
going
Doc
on?
Nelson's episode has 61. My
What's
last
going on?
one has 23. So yeah,
Okay.
now all I gotta do is just cut.
I
out.
noticed that. Well, and it makes sense when we promote it more. I'm telling you, man, it's the TikTok clips, bro.
I mean, yeah, I just haven't been on fucking TikTok making clips. Just haven't really done it. I need to.
That's.
I'm doing too many things.
I'm just saying.
I'm streaming on 2 platforms, recording podcasts, working, and trying to have a relationship.
Well, just you can create clips from former episodes.
I can't create clips until the video is posted
No,
or
no.
rendered.
create clips of older episodes. Like it doesn't have to be the most current episode.
There's only 3 episodes now.
I'm just saying,
that are
but
older.
that's still a lot of content to create.
But you got to think about what is clip worthy in those episodes. There's not that many things that are clip worthy.
Nah.
Like
that
there's not too much.
everybody's
There's
going to attach to.
like there's something that stands out that makes people want to watch it. Like also I have to put like kind of like a teaser at the beginning of each episode to get people to want to keep watching for that spot.
Yeah.
That's why I started adding that. Something to look forward to.
Fair.
You know?
I just think of it like because the Freddy podcast, a lot of their clips I see are from episodes I've already heard of, and I'm like, I know they're well past that episode.
I can start backlogging if anything. So
It's just to get discovered. Because I mean, TikTok is like I've got 2 videos that are over 4,000 views,
I don't have a single video except for one that's got more than 200.
and I haven't done shit.
It's fucked up because I edit the shit out of these videos and I try so hard. It was because you add like the trendy stuff to yours and I don't.
Uh-huh.
I add my own thing.
Only one I've done that.
I only add my own thing. Most of them
What
are.
do you mean?
Like, you know, when my sailors find my TikTok or other stuff that were just random shit, you add the fucking TikTok music to it.
No, that was a effect.
Or even not even just even effect. But you're even like your just the text to speech thing, like that.
Oh,
that
I
goes
see
into
what
that
you're saying.
fares into the algorithm too. Whereas mine is just all of my content, and the only thing that I add are just trending hashtags. That's it. That's all I do.
That's interesting.
Which I'm starting to learn is not the way.
That's not.
Anyway, we're gonna end this. It was good having you here, Sean.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And you know,
Totally fun.
we'll hopefully when I get a PC before, well, I won't get a PC before you leave. So there's
It's depressing. Yeah, well, I don't know. I won't be leaving before Christmas, so maybe
there,
maybe
yeah,
I'll get a good Christmas gift.
maybe. So, thanks for hanging out with us, guys. I hope you guys have a good week. This is gonna post on Wednesday now. Sorry, I need more time to fucking edit and render and stuff, and not eat my entire weekend. Me and Alicia want to go do stuff. Like she wants to hang out with me.
I'm not tripping.
that's
I
fair.
never cared when you posted it. Honestly.
Like I noticed that like I would eat the whole weekend just fucking getting the clip ready.
Every time when you talked about like posting it on Monday, it was more like me like, okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna go out
I've
on
never
Wednesdays.
cared when you post it.
It's just more convenient for me to do it on Wednesdays because I can edit it while at work and then render it while I'm in bed, and I won't have to worry about it too much. Anyway, so thanks for hanging out, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good rest of your week.
Oh, yeah.
Later, squids.
Later.
Bitch.
You're a bitch. Bye.